Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here Saturday morning. We're doing double duty today. The Raptor, of course, lost to the Sixers last night in a hard-fought battle in Philadelphia, and they turned right around, get on a plane, come back to Toronto. They're going to play the Utah Jazz today. Of course, the Raptors 905 also winning yesterday against Memphis Hustle. So there's a lot to cover today. I'm still going to try and get everything done before noon. So please help me with my cutoff because I don't want to go past noon for sure today. Because I've got to rendezvous with my family and go to the Utah Jazz game today with them. I'm really excited. Today's the day I get to go to a game with my brother and his kids. And it's going to be so much fun to take my nephew and niece to the game and enjoy a Raptors game with them, something that I love so much, to be able to share it with my family who I never, ever get to see. I haven't seen my niece and nephew in a year and a half. In fact, this will be the first day I've seen them since August of 2022. So this is going to be a fantastic day today. All right, let's start it off with what I normally do. Latest lineup news. I really feel good about our chances tonight. You know, the Raptors do well on second night of back-to-back a lot this season. And, well, Utah's in a similar place to us. They're not exactly one of the best teams in the West. And, you know, they're ripe for the picking. They just played Detroit and then beat them, continuing the Detroit losing streak on Thursday night. And, well, they have some injuries. Let's go look at them real quick. First of all, Keontae George, the valued young rookie, is out today for sure. His foot has put him out for the game today against Toronto. So you will not see Keontae George playing for the Jazz today. Talen Horton-Tucker is questionable today. It's also his foot. We'll see if he shows up or not. And then Jordan Clarkson is also questionable today. It's his hamstring. So there's some three injuries for the Jazz right there. You know, two starters and the sixth man off the bench. So we'll see if all three of them are out or at least two out of three, because 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Meatloaf. All right, their team this year is Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, O'Shea Abaji, Simone Fontecchio, Kelly Olynyk, Chris Dunn, Taylor Hendricks, Omer Yurtseven, and let's see who else. They got Luka Samanic. Yeah, that's pretty much the Utah team. A lot of guys from other teams from the past, like Cleveland, and you know, there's even a guy from Miami there. You're at 7. You know, it's a very interesting mix. John Collins, of course, from Atlanta recently, and Markkanen coming from over Minnesota in that area. So yeah, people to look out for. Obviously, Lauri Markkanen and John Collins and Walker Kessler. And then that guard, Colin Sexton, he could be a problem. Of course, Kelly Olynyk was the leading scorer for the Jazz against the Detroit on Thursday. So we'll have to watch out for Team Canada captain Kelly Olynyk also. So they're quite an interesting crew. On our side of things, the song is the same. It remains the same, Led Zeppelin. That's just Christian Coloco out for the Raptors. Nobody else out. And in fact, we saw Otto Porter Jr. playing in the game last night for the Raptors against Sixers. Looked pretty good. I like what I saw from him last night. So keep doing that, please, Darko. I think that Otto Porter just is such an awesome person for us to be playing regularly, but I get it. You want to develop, and maybe you don't play him as much. Now, don't expect to see Otto today because he's already been kind of on the download, ruled out for 2 days in a row on back-to-backs. So if he played in Philly last night, we probably won't see him tonight. All right, our ref crew for today is very, very good. As much as our crew was kind of shitty last night, Courtney Kirkland, very shitty. Scott Twardowski, yeah, horrible stuff. Ray Acosta, okay, though, last night. Ray Acosta actually gave us a couple calls. But Twardowski with the offensive foul on Precious in a key moment yesterday really did hurt the Raptors against the Sixers. That was such a dumb call. I hate those offensive calls. Seriously. They're so out of the blue, and they're just mysterious. And they really hurt a team's confidence and tempo when all of a sudden you're getting an offensive foul. You're trying to set up and be aggressive, and you get called for just an extraneous offensive foul. They could honestly call offensive fouls on almost every possession. It's just really up to their own discretion and when they want to, and they jump on it. It's just like in football when you're in the line and everybody's coming up and the blockers and the rushers are hitting each other. There's all kinds of illegal stuff going on a line at a football game, and they could call stuff all the time. It's really when they pick and choose, and that's the problem with these offensive fouls. Well, let me preface with saying we have our best ref in the league. For us tonight, our best crew chief we could possibly have is tonight. It's Tyler Ford. Tyler Ford is the crew chief tonight. He is in his 10th season out of Lima, Ohio. His favorite TV show is Yellowstone. He likes the movie Remember the Titans. His favorite musician's Old Dominion. Favorite book, The Power of a Positive Team. Hey, that's what we're trying to do here in the Raptor Freak family. We are the power of a positive team. His favorite meal is steak, and he likes to watch Netflix. He'd most like to visit Ireland, and he's another one of these refs that wants to play golf at Augusta National. Why don't y'all just rent it one day? All y'all probably got ref money in the off season. Go rent Augusta National and just y'all play. Why can't y'all go there? You're not members? What is it? Why can't refs go play golf at Augusta National? It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, let's see. Ford spent 4 seasons officiating in the WNBA. He also officiated Division I college basketball for 3 seasons in the Big Ten, Mid-American Conference, and the Summit League. Yeah, Tyler Ford, listen to this. This is the cool thing about Tyler Ford. Tyler Ford's win percentage with the Raptors is the highest win percentage out of all 30 teams. He has the highest win percentage for the Raptors. All the other teams have less winning under Tyler Ford. We win 69% of our games with Tyler Ford. And meanwhile, the Jazz, they have a good percentage too with him, 58%. So it's 69% winning for the Raptors with Tyler Ford around and 58% winning for the Jazz. So slightly favoring us, but very, very nice ref to us. He's a top 5 ref for the Raptors. I'm serious. Tyler Ford's our friend. That little guy, he may look dopey. He's a good ref for us. The second ref's not a bad ref for us either. Aaron Smith, 9th season out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. He is one of the referee mafia, but we'll make allowances here. Favorite TV show is Top Boy. His favorite movie is The Shawshank Redemption. He likes to listen to some John Legend. My mother just found some newfound respect for John Legend. She's been listening to him lately, and she's really into him all of a sudden. Favorite book is Unbroken. Favorite meal, any breakfast meal that he can get. And favorite app, Peloton. He'd like to visit Thailand and Vietnam, and his bucket list is to go compete on Jeopardy. I like you for that, Aaron Smith. You want to go to the land of the it'd be cool to see you on Jeopardy, Aaron Smith. Yeah. Aaron Smith graduated from Westchester University in 2010 with a bachelor's degree in history. At Westchester, he played 1 season of varsity basketball. So Aaron Smith does have some experience playing some sort of level of basketball. He is the middle ref today. Actually, no, he's the worst ref for us today. He's the only one that favors the Utah Jazz. We win 57% of our games still when Aaron Smith's around, but they win 61%. So the split with the second ref, Aaron Smith, is for the Jazz, 57-61. Yeah, but he's still very favorable to us. The third ref is the trans ref. They are in their 3rd season. Shea Flores out of Los Angeles, California. Shea, their favorite show is Game of Thrones. Their favorite movie is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Their favorite musician is James Blake. And their favorite book is The Mindful Athlete. Their favorite meal is cherry pie. And they most like to visit outer space. And a bucket list is to learn how to play piano. As an official in women's college basketball, Flores refereed. It looks like referred when they write that. That's not how you write referee. Flores refereed the national championship game in 2021 and the Final Four in 2019. Of course, Shea Flores has not refereed us a whole lot of times. Only 4 games she's refed us, or they have refed us, and we're 75%. We've won 3 out of the 4 games, so we've won a lot of them recently with them. And meanwhile, the Jazz are 2-6 with Flores, 25% winning. So that's a really nice, even, clean split. 75% Raptors, 25% Jazz, with third ref Shea Flores. So yeah, great ref crew. If not that experienced, but very favorable towards the Raptors. Tyler Ford, crew chief, Aaron Smith, and Shea Flores, the referees for today. Not a bad ref crew at all, guys. Honestly, good stuff. It looks good. Like, we're coming back from home. The guys fought really hard last night, played a very, very good game. They can hold their heads up high. Honestly, in some ways, we're a little outmatched with the Sixers at this point. And this kind of stuff is to be expected to a degree. I mean, look, we beat them the first quarter. We actually were absolutely kicking their ass. And I loved seeing that. They came out right. They were making their free throws. They were really guarding them well. They were containing 2 of the biggest offensive juggernauts in the league right now with Embiid and Maxey. Those guys are dangerous. And by the end of the game, they got theirs. But we held them back for a while. And the other thing is, if you look at our margin of losing to the Sixers, that's pretty better than most of the league and how they've been getting beat down by them recently. So listen, we can hold our heads with respect. We lost to maybe one of the top teams in the whole entire league and we kept competitive with them for most of the game. We were winning really nice by 9 at the end of the first quarter. It looked real good, but to maintain that is very tough. And in the second quarter, they kind of went on a run and they ended up leading by 3 at halftime. So there was a 12-point swing in the second quarter. And once again, this coincided with Malachi Flynn and stupid stuff. Man, I'm really mad at Malachi. I don't think we should be wasting minutes on him. If everybody's so upset about Scotty not getting to play point guard, well, let's let him play backup point guard at least. Seriously. Because in some ways, I feel like we need to demote Malachi out of the rotation. I really do. Because honestly, some of the stuff he did last night, whether it's missing shots or just turnovers, was absolutely deflating in a time where we could not afford to have any mistakes against such a top-notch team. He really, really did kill our momentum of holding a lead on them and running above them. That it all fell apart in the second quarter once again when the bench came in. Yeah, awful, awful. Of course, the first half was the Tobias Harris show. The third quarter was the Joel Embiid show, and then the fourth quarter was the Tyrese Maxey show. In fact, the Sixers did something last night that their franchise had not been done since they were the Syracuse Nationals, and that was have 3 players score 30 points each. That you think that happens all the time, but really it doesn't. It doesn't hardly happen at all. So that's actually kind of impressive that we only lost by 10 to them, and they had 3 players scoring over 30. Their guys got theirs, that's for sure. It was a really fun game for most of it. I know that David Saborin probably was smiling during the first quarter like most of us were. But hey, it is what it is. It's a work in progress. And we all have to realize as Raptor fans, we're in a new mode. We're in a new place. We're not a championship contender. We're not a team that's near the top and is striving for perfect excellence. So Raptors fans need to allow for failure. And if we gauge against a team like that team fairly well, I feel good about it, even if we lost. So I know there's a lot of people talking out their ass online, saying all kinds of crazy shit. Sure, Dennis did some stuff last night that feeds your fire of hating him, wanting him not to take shots. But once again, I caution everybody who's a casual, realize part of the reason why people take shots in this game is because they're the shots that the Sixers are letting us have open. And that's by design. If you don't see Scotty and Pascal shooting as much, well, that's because Nick is covering the hell out of them. I mean, seriously, think about that. They came out with a big lineup to start the game, and that was very interesting, starting Marcus Morris Sr. With Maxey is the only small guy out there. So Nick very much matched our size from the start with a big lineup to match up against Barnes, Anunoby, and Siakam in the middle there. So, yeah, very interesting game, some chess pieces. I thought the Raptors played with a heart and a spirit and a very good professionalism last night. I didn't feel like they played very professionally recently, and this game was professionally taken care of. But Siakam, very perfect at the line very early, setting the tone. Scotty and them sharing the ball very well, making a commitment to team defense and communicating also in this game. So lots of good signs. In fact, Coach Darko was very positive about the game afterwards, saying that he saw progress. He saw some cool things that he liked and that he wants to try and implement as soon as tonight. So, yeah, good stuff in the game, even though it's a loss. Seriously, I mean, this is the Sixers, and they have 2 guys that are playing at the highest level at their positions, and they're absolute badasses. You can't tell me that beating Maxey and Embiid is easy when you see the third quarter that Joel Embiid had, and you see what Maxey did in the fourth quarter to close it out and really help the Sixers keep the lead and stay ahead. That's unreal shooting. And then when you have a big man with that kind of skill who can bomb a 3 and he can just do all kinds of crazy stuff, that is a luxury. That is a luxury. And Nick Nurse didn't like the hard path here in Toronto. It was hard. So he had to sabotage his job here. So he could take an easier route to try and win his next championship. And that's really what a lot of it is right there. All right, let's check in with y'all's comments this morning. We'll do the 5 stars or 3 stars of the game for the Raptors game. If you guys want to talk anything about the 905 victory yesterday, a little bit, even though we covered it in the live stream, I'll talk about it. Yeah, and I also want to remind everybody, make sure you're putting your all-star votes in every single day. Get that Scotty Barnes on your ballot. And let's get young Wayne Barnes to the all-star game in Indiana this year. That's right. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the chat real quick. We got Trevor J in first at the arena last night. Thank you, Commissioner J, once again for attending the Raptors game in Philadelphia at Wells Fargo with a group of 60 rabid Raptor fans in there. I'm sure y'all were very loud for part of the game when everybody else was quiet. That's the fun thing about a close game in Philadelphia. The Sixers fans don't get all cocky. They get worried. And you start seeing them stew. You see some faces in the crowd on the TV show. And you're like, wow, they don't look very happy. They're like, what is going on? Why are the Raptors scaring us right now? Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. We scared them. We definitely scared them. And for a majority of the game, the Sixers fans could not be out of pocket and crazy and loud and happy because the Raptors scared the shit out of them because they were kind of beating their ass. So, yeah, Trevor's saying, good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's go Raptors. That's right, Trevor J. You're my hero, bro. You seriously are. You really, really are. Trevor's saying if the bench players showed up last night, we could have won this one. As the bench came into the game, we went south in a hurry by making boneheaded mistakes, turning over the ball. Yeah, Malachi, I hate you. I hate you so much. You signify our bench dying when you got drafted and came to our team. In fact, I don't want to be racist or anything like that, but I don't want any more red-haired people on our team. Seriously. Aaron Baines and Malachi Flynn came to our team in the Tampa year, and both of them are a scourge. And in some ways, Bobby Masai, I'm sorry. I'm going to avoid some ginger hair people coming to our team at this point. That may sound really fucked up, what I just said, but I'm serious. Like, what the hell is going on with you, Flynn? Why are you the way you are? Why do you drive me so nuts? Why do you fuck up so much? What, you are such false advertising. People telling him he's in the Pro-Am or not. What's going on here? I'm so sick of seeing him get in the games and getting minutes right now. I don't care if you're going to kill his confidence, Darko. In some ways, I want wash up. If we make a trade and we get a better backup point guard, he better be playing instead of Malachi. In some ways, everybody's saying it in the chat last night or yesterday. Marquise Noel needs to be called up and be this backup point guard for us. The way he played in the Memphis Hustle game yesterday, it'd be an improvement over that pile of garbage that Malachi Flynn leaves on the floor when he plays as backup point guard. So there's a couple of options here, Rajakovic. So make one of them, please. Change that part. If you're going to change anything about our team right now, you take Malachi out of the rotation and you bring up Marquise and let him be the backup point guard. Or you let Scotty run as the backup point guard with the second unit regularly. I like Dennis having the stability of the starting lineup and holding things because we see a lot of good stuff with him when he's doing that. And yes, they were used a lot last night, Pirtle and Dennis, with varied success. Pirtle absolutely fantastic for the most part, but Dennis a little bit of up and down with pluses and negatives. But we've got to have that veteran experience. You've got to have a guy like him chasing down Maxey with veteran experience and understanding and somewhat containing Maxey. So there's all kinds of intangibles that Schroeder's giving, if not frustrating people because he's shooting too much because they think other people should be shooting instead. That's the thing. Dennis is trying to do his job and still please y'all. And in some ways, it's half-assed. And I wish he could just have the green light and let him do what he's going to do because he carried Team Germany at FIBA World Cup and helped them be undefeated in that competition. And in some ways, his instinct is to go get baskets for us when we're not scoring very well. And if he tries to take over and do that stuff, we have a whole section of our fan nation that's criticizing him for trying to help us win. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Do you not understand basketball? He's got to take shots. He's our starting point guard, and he's a damn good one. Y'all don't think he's a starting point guard, but he is. Just because he's not scoring 20 and getting 10 assists, we really need to salvage Dennis Schroeder's game. Forget about Malachi Flynn's at this point. I've not seen any kind of ceiling or output by Malachi that makes me want to continue to invest rotation minutes in him, Darko. He's just a fail. He's been a fail for 3 years. He's made hardly any progress his whole entire time with the Raptors. There's been no leap. It's the same bullshit. One half-ass game that looks kind of good that makes us, oh, good, Malachi's showing progress. And then fucking 2 shit-the-bed games in a row. So I'm sick of it. Just get him out of the rotation. Get him the fuck off the team if you can, Bobby. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Excuse my French here. Yeah. Dana's here. Canadian Dana. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. We will win today. That's right. We're bringing that energy. I have some of the best lucky people coming to the game with me. First of all, Adriana is super lucky to have around to watch basketball games with. If I go to games with her, we win quite often. We haven't had good luck this year because I've been going to some major games. She took me to the first Philadelphia game here in Toronto. And yeah, we lost. We've gone a couple games this year where we lost, but we're going to change that tonight because we have the ultimate weapon. The man who was sitting next to me when the Raptors came back against the Dallas Mavericks around Christmas a couple years ago with Kyle Lowry on the bench. Yeah, I was sitting next to my nephew for that game in Tallahassee, Florida. And I was like, man, I was sitting there watching them. They were so down to the Mavs. You know how that game was. And my nephew came into the room and he said, "What's wrong, Uncle Lex? Why are you so down?" I said, "Well, the Raptors are losing and I'm not happy about it." He said, "Oh, well, I don't like that." It's like, let's see them win. And he sat down. And then right when he sat down was when that started all the comeback with Kyle Lowry, Chris Boucher, Rondé Hollis Jefferson in that game against the Dallas Mavericks. And I'm watching it and I'm like, holy crap, what's going on here? And like him and I are cheering. And Harrison's cheering defense with me. He's like, defense, defense. He got all into it. And by the end of the game, we won that game. And I was like, holy crap, nephew, you were a big part of this. You how did you come in here with that energy? And you made me believe. And then all of a sudden, the Raptors have one of their best comebacks in their history. So I'm telling you, I'm going to the game today with my nephew. So, we're going to have Harrison in the building tonight. And he was good luck on that one day when I watched the game with him. Let's hopefully see that again. I mean, Utah's good for the getting, and we need to beat them. We really, really do. Trevor's saying we need to get better shooters around Pascal and Scotty. OG has no impact in the game. He missed all of his three-point shots. Yeah, and we see his signature. I'm going to get an offensive foul trying to make a move to the basket because I push off when I come into the lane. That's just how he plays. He pushes off. He'll get called for that every single time. And the problem with that offensive foul is it's a foul on him, it's a turnover, and it's deflating. So honestly, in some ways, I love OG so much. He has had such a great time here in Toronto. But in some ways, if people are going to trade somebody and it's going to be either Siakam or OG, I'm telling you, it should be Anunoby. It should. Because listen, what did you see with Scotty and Pascal in the break last night? Holy crap. Look how fun that was. The transition game for the Raptors last night, getting up and down the court with such quickness. We actually had a fast breaking team last night. And it was beautiful to see, being aggressive, throwing the ball long court, and getting these touchdown passes. Siakam like a wide receiver, and Scotty throwing it like a QB, and he catches it and he puts it in. You saw ref manipulation at the very beginning of the game. Scotty threw a long pass to Siakam, and he made it, and they called a take foul. Did you see that take foul bullshit? They wiped the points. First of all, that's a psychological thing. They say, oh, this is how it's going to be. Y'all's first points are wiped. They don't even count. And now, wait, you get a take foul. So in some ways, we're helping you because you have the possibility of a 4-point play or a 5-point play because you get 2 free throws and the possession. But still, that's insidious because he made that beautiful pass. And what happens is Scott doesn't get an assist for his amazing football pass because they wiped the basket of Siakam making the first basket of the game. Then they make Siakam, who has had troubles at the free throw line this season, go and have to make 2 free throws to get us points for the first time in the game against a rowdy, angry Sixers crowd trying to distract him. Well, he made both of them. And then we set up a very nice, easy, high percentage play with Jakob where he put the ball in and made the 4-point play, 4 points. So yeah, eat it, referees, for trying to rob us of our first basket, rob Scott of a fantastic assist, football pass, and then you make us do the hard way to get our points. Well, we got the 4 points, motherfuckers, even though you tried to mess with us right at the beginning of the game, Courtney Kirkland, with your bullshit. And the other thing about that is they go and they watch it right away. Everybody who's warmed up, everybody who's in that game face right off the jump ball, and they've got that energy, they kind of cool off. So Courtney's going to go over there and hang out and talk to Sikasius for like 5 minutes and cool everybody off within the first minute of the game. You know, I know these guys do these cartoon watching like late in the game often to try and mess up momentum and stuff. Well, they did it right off the bat, trying to do a ref hit job on screwing up our good momentum and energy right away. It didn't work. we kept it going and we kicked their ass for the whole first quarter still. But yeah, keep your eyes open on watching those guys. Twadarski, fuck you. Courtney Kirkland, fuck you. Ray Costa, you're all right. You're all right. You gave us the ball that one possession. I was like, all right. And even the challenge late that Darko made, the save, the foul, that was dumb. It's like, okay, you don't get the foul, but the ball was in their possession, so they get the ball anyway. But you keep your timeout. The refs, I'll never ever get it. I told myself last night, this is a game of fuckers. We got Joel Embiid, the fucker. We got Nick Nurse, the fucker. And we got Courtney Kirkland, the fucker. What a bunch of fuckers in this game. Yeah, I'm dropping F-bombs today. That's right. It was a fucker game. All these fuckers at that game. Holy crap. Daryl Morey was probably somewhere being a fucker in the wings too. Let's see. Trevor J is saying, yeah, I read that one. He's also saying, we're going to Boston on December 29th to support the Raptors. We're all leaving Philadelphia around 3:30 today. Are y'all just like traveling with the team at this point? And are you doing your like work while you're going to these places? Because I know you have a traveling show where you're displaying stuff and showing, doing like showing the products that you sell. So I'm wondering, Trevor, is this just you guys are making up the tour on the way with the Raptors schedule? Or are you guys already destined to go to Philadelphia, New York, and Boston the way you guys have been lately? This is awesome. I'm not upset about this. Go to Boston and get loud next Friday night when we play the Celtics in this similar situation. Once again, this Friday, Saturday games are really screwed up. We have to go play Philadelphia, get on a plane, fly back to Toronto and play the Jazz today. Yeah, next week it's going to be go play Boston on Friday night. Then get on a plane and fly to Detroit and play the Pistons on the second night of the back-to-back next weekend on Saturday. So yeah, our schedule's all messed up. Even the easy games are put in a hard position on the second night of a back-to-back. You think we want to play the Pistons on the second night of a back-to-back after we play in Boston the night before? No, NBA, fuck you with your stupid schedule, you fuckers. This is a league of fuckers. This is what's going on here. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. All right, so you're leaving around 3:30 today. We'll travel safe, Trevor. G saying real quick. Let's see what G's saying. Trevor, you champion of season 1. How was the trip and the game, Trevor? It was very good, G. Yeah, I mean, you guys are awesome. Going in enemy territories and just being good Raptors fans. I love it. I love it so much. G saying they look really good first quarter. We just don't have the depth to sustain it. Embiid had 0 for a while, and Tobias and Oubre helped before Maxey and Embiid stepped up. Yeah, we were really containing them. I felt like Dennis did a fantastic job last night on Maxey for most of the game. It's just his Maxey, y'all. You got to understand, this man had got a 50-piece this year, and he's a bona fide all-star. And the thing about Maxey is he's so fundamentally good. Like, listen, he's set in his shot. He's going to make it because he doesn't even have to be set in his shot. He can be flying through the air, and he knows how to shoot set shots in the middle of the air. Like, he's flying through the air. He can shoot set shots. I don't know how that man does it. He can go full speed, run right down the court and stop on a dime and hit a nail shot right there. How do you play against somebody like that? You can't. He's one of the most impossible players in the league right now. And you see from the last couple of years of criticizing Fred going against Maxey. Well, nobody can guard Maxey. Not a single damn person in this whole entire league. I'm going to tell you that right now. And you could probably say the same thing about Embiid to a degree too. That it's very impossible to just absolutely shut out Embiid. I thought Yak did a good job on him. He was being very physical with him. He's holding him off. He's making it really hard for him. At one point, it looked like Embiid rolled his ankle and he might be missing the game. You know, some of the stuff we've been saying this year about how Nick Nurse is going to run him to the ground and he's going to be like injury risk. Well, I could see that stuff happening with him because they are playing a major minutes. I thought he was going to miss the whole fourth quarter. But then he showed up and he's standing at the sideline like that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, in some ways, Nick didn't have to put him back in, but he did. He's just that kind of asshole. So whatever. I mean, look, I thought we did things with respect. I don't feel like we got humiliated in Philadelphia, which I was saying that's the worst case scenario. Just don't get humiliated, Raptors. Hold your own and play professional and play as well as you can. And then I won't get mad at you. And that's what they did last night. They played very well, and we're just not in the same place as a team, as the Sixers at this point. You know, we've had our time when we were on top, and we were running for years and years, and now we're in another mode, and we're going to have to lose some to get back to being the way we used to be. So Raptors fans who can't handle that kind of stuff, well, there's the door. you can go hang out and do something else, because this time is going to be difficult and it's not going to be all winning. And if y'all are only about winning, well, you don't want to be around for this period of time with the Raptors. And if you want to give us give constructive criticism or talk about the team or whatever like that, well, just make sure it's helpful and not just insulting and derogatory or slander or stupid, is what I'll say. Just make sure your criticism is helpful and you have it from the right place in your heart, and you're not just there to kick somebody who's down. That's what I would say right there. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Trevor saying that interview with Gary Trent Sr. was very interesting to hear what he said. Yeah, I won't listen to it. They made me so mad, Will Lou and Blake Murphy, that I don't want to support that at all. I don't want to give it a click. Y'all were kind of trying to tell me what happened with it. I mean, Monique kind of told me what they were saying. I wanted to know if he talked about Gary's struggles this season. Why is Gary struggling so much this year? And I wanted to find that out. Let's see. Yeah, he said that he almost veered off the Burlington Skyway when he said he'd show up at the club shirtless. Let's see. He knows he's up and down, finding his niche. The whole team, the new system, the mindset, the offense. Okay. All right. Listen, Gary had the interview after the game. It was real brief, and they didn't post it on the line, but I saw it because I saw it through what I was watching. And Gary, once again, saying on the way out of Philadelphia Arena last night that he has one thing in mind. That's just to help the team win. He has no aspirations on anything. Everybody is pushing this, he should be starting thing. He's not even pushing that from himself. He knows that he has to play better in the time that's allotted to him, and he'll get more and more time. And honestly, he was great last night. In some ways, he was a bright spot last night. Out of all the kind of like things that were happening. Let's do our 3 stars of the game. My number 1 star of the game is Siakam. Siakam was the best player on the court for the Raptors. He could have been the best player on the court out of everybody, but by the end, Maxey and Embiid kind of eclipsed him. Siakam, 10 of 16 from the field. He missed all 4 of his threes, 11 of 12 from the free throw line. That was absolutely fantastic. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, a -4 with 31 points in 36 minutes. Yeah, I can't get mad at Siakam. I wish he'd made some of his threes maybe, but otherwise, that's a really solid line, and he was trying to carry. Now, maybe he could have showed up a little bit more near the end to help carry. But hey, that's a solid line, and I'm not upset with it. My 2nd star of the game is Jakob Poeltl, 19 points in 29 minutes, 9 of 15. He was heavy usage last night, but in some ways, it was just because that was the right thing to do. He was 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, a -14. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, he was playing Jim Embiid really well, and he was also outscoring him. In the beginning of the game, Jakob had completely outplayed Embiid in the first half. He absolutely destroyed Embiid in the first half, offensively, going around him and stopping him himself. So I'll take that. In some ways, Jakob showed that he's a really good match for Embiid and slowing him down from the start of that game last night. So good stuff. The 3rd star is Gary Trent Jr. Gary off the bench, 6 of 11, 5 of 8 from 3, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, -10 with 17 points in 26 minutes. You know, I like Gary finally getting his shot together, and then boom, he was making more threes in the second half. He did start a little cold, and it was a little frustrating, just like Malachi and them. But he woke up and he got it together, and he started making shots left and right. So thank you, Gary. Thank you for playing better. And thank you for the really quick interview on the way out. And he said, look, his head's on the right place. These guys are really like believing, and they may be losing a lot right now, but they're definitely not like our fan nation right now. They're not panicking. They're not negative. They're not turning on each other. In fact, they're more together this year than last year. So there's a lot of good stuff going on the down low with this team. Now, one of the things I really hated about the game last night was how bad our 3-point shooting was. That was actually cited by Darko after the game for a big reason why we lost. 9 of 33 overall as a team, 27% from the field. Meanwhile, the Sixers are shooting 45%, making 14 threes. That's 5 more threes than we did. Now, one of the threes was made by Jalen McDaniels in garbage time, just a quick pop. So take that one out. It's really 8 for 32. And then really it's 2 guys that got most of those shots. And well, actually, let's just say you take Gary out of it, 5 for 8, and boom, you've only got like you got 3 for 25, 3 for 25 the whole rest of the team. including 0 for 4 for both Pascal and OG, 2 for 7 for Scott, 0 for 2 for Dennis, 0 for 2 for Precious, 1 for 3 for Otto, and 0 for 2 for Malachi. And yeah, that's horrible. Horrible three-point shooting by pretty much everybody on the team except for Gary Trent Jr. And that sucks. That sucks. It's such Achilles heel. And until we get better shooters, Bobby Webster, we can't compete in this league. We just got to do this. This has been the biggest problem with our team this year is nobody's hitting threes consistently. And I'm mad at you, Malachi, because that's the one thing, that's your number one job description. You jerk. You can't even make them. So, yeah, really, really frustrating. Now, let me talk about Scotty a little more in depth. This wasn't a good game for Scotty completely. He did not shoot well last night. 3 of 11 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. He did make all 4 of his free throws. He was stat stuffing at least. 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks. 4 blocks is fantastic. And he was only a -1, but only 12 points. And don't tell me that it's completely Nick Nurse shutting you out, Scott. It seemed like you were sheepish to grab the ball and go take it and try and do stuff yourself. And I can't have that. You need to be more aggressive and step up and be that superstar. Demand the ball. We need the ball to go through you. And you need to make yourself ready to get the ball or to get it. In some ways, they were trying not to let you touch the ball at all. I get it. But you've got to make yourself a target. You got to go do it. And the other thing, Scott, you were settling for the three-point shot last night. There were a couple times where you had an open drive to the lane to get a higher percentage shot, but you settled for that outside shot. I did not like that. I did not like that. You've been doing so much better about recognizing space and going and filling it and getting closer to get a higher percentage shot. So continue to do that, please. You may have been lazy on taking too many threes last night instead of getting in there and mixing it up and putting it in over them. There were a couple times where there's an extra pass in the lane that maybe shouldn't have happened, where the person who was making the extra pass should have took it up themselves. That's happening with the Raptors from time to time. But, and this is the stark contrast of a Raptors team coached by Nick Nurse and a Raptors team coached by Darko, is that we are getting assists, that we are getting such good passing. And I love it. In some ways, look, we're losing more right now, just right now. But the things that we're cultivating and starting to build as a culture with the passing and being more sharing and unselfish as a team is going to be so much more fruitful in the end than Nick Nurse's closed circuit isolation sets through Pascal and Fred last year. So listen, it looks different. It looks weird, and it's better. Trust me. It's not winning right now. Down the road, it's going to win way more when we get better chemistry and some of the better pieces around, like better shooters. And that's the thing. You know, it's a totally different style than what we would have been last year against Philadelphia and Doc Rivers with Nick Nurse as our coach on our side. So it's just how it is. And I like it. Honestly, I enjoy watching Darko's style of play way more than Nick's style from last year. And I'll make this trade every single time, even if it's been painful and it's very kind of unsettled and confusing right now. But you know what? Listen, you got to start somewhere. And in some ways, we got to do this hard stuff and lose a bit to get really good at some point. Just ask the Denver Nuggets. Ask Tom, fan of the Denver Nuggets. That's right. Let's keep going with the chat. La, 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 la. Carlos saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Carlo JS. G saying, they went to Yak properly yesterday and passed in his pocket better, and it was effective. Yeah, I really liked a lot of what was happening with Yak. He's so strong and tough. In some ways, like him bodying up with Embiid is impressive because you know Embiid is strong as hell, but Jakob can kind of equal him out. So if anything, once again, I will say to people, that's a reason why you need Jakob Poeltl on your roster. You can think that it was a fail. Oh, we gave up a first-round pick. Well, listen, were you going to get a center like him ready to go right now with that first-round pick this year coming up? No, you're not. So in some ways, look, this is smart. We got a big center that can help us in certain ways against people like Jokic and Embiid. So yeah, hold your tongue. Jakob is an essential piece to an NBA roster that you need for certain things, and that's major, big, talented guys like Joel Embiid. So yeah, I thought he was awesome. I thought that the offense from him early was awesome, and he was making most of the shots. It looked fantastic. Carlos saying lost it at the fourth against a top contender. Losing piles up though. It is what it is. Yeah, I love how we used Yak last night. We played like yesterday the rest of the way, and we'll be okay though. Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic effort. I didn't want to see them come out and just kind of give up and roll over. That's one thing that we need to watch is their level of compete against really tough opponents. And Darko has got them coming out the right way, coming correct, and that's important because they could have came out and not came correct, and the Sixers could have really embarrassed them. But that did not happen. In fact, we made them real worried, and we had Wells Fargo shook for the first part of the game. That's for sure. Let's see. Randolph's here. Good to see Randolph Phillips. Blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. On this game day, joy, peace, love, happiness as we glide into Christmas. When you're down, there's only one way to go, and that's up. Let's go. Let's go, Randolph. Yes, I love it. I'm going to give you a dunk for your blessings today because I really do feel like it is the season. 'Tis the season for sure. But also, I just love your positive spirit as always and just the tidings and wishing of joy towards people is just fantastic. It's so on point for right now. That's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, we're on the Christmas Eve of Christmas Eve, the eve of Christmas Eve, and it's coming real close. So you got to get your shopping in, people. If you're going to get your shopping in, you better get it in now because there's the time is running out. That's for sure. Let's see, where is Randolph? He's on here. I know he is. I got to find Randolph Phillips on this sheet here. It's so clustered with everything on it now. It's really hard to read at this point. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to clean this up, though, before New Year's, and we're going to finish it, and we're going to start over in the new year. All right. I'm just going to put Randolph. I know he's on here. I mean, I've given Randolph dunks in the past. I'm just going to write it in again. Na, 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 na. Yeah, blessings to you, Randolph, and the Phillips family, and all the other Raptor Freaks family for sure. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Jillian's here. Good to see Jillian. Morning, y'all. Happy win day. I like that. That's a great wish for this morning, Jillian. Always happy to see you. Most saying good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Happy game day to you, super fan. You're heading to the game also. It's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna be sitting over near where Ellen Schroeder and them sit. So I'm not that far from them and their section. Over there in I think we're in 110, something like that. Jillian saying your nephew willed the win. Yeah, he did. And he wasn't even that familiar with the Raptors. He just sat down. He watched the game with me for the last part and it worked. It was like, holy crap. I was looking at him like he was like the golden child or something. I was like, whoa, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? I mean, it was a mix of me cheering like very diligently, like I always do, and him doing it with me. And I was like, whoa, that's some power right there. So we're going to come down there today and get loud. I'm going to be doing my defense chant like crazy, like I always do. And I fully expect my niece and nephew to help me. I'm hoping, yeah. Let's see. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. I'm going to support the team no matter what. Lex, I totally agree with you on Malachi. However, I'm still confused as why you view Precious exactly the same way. Why you do not view Precious exactly the same way. Or I don't view Precious the same way. Because Precious has so much fruit to him. There's so much more promise with him. In some ways, I don't see Malachi getting any better. I really don't. If he hasn't gotten better by now, he's not going to. And I see progress and leaps and little signs of really quality, amazing things with Precious. It's whether, Precious the most like Scotty on this team. It's not Siakam. Siakam's not the most like Scotty. Precious is the most like Scotty. He has the same kind of handle in the open floor that scares the hell out of the other team. He's a really superb rebounder. He's a plus defender, and he's the kind of guy that can kind of guard Tyrese and Joel. There's a lot more to Precious that he can benefit the team than Malachi. That's just the truth. And more, I'm realizing that Precious is one of the guys that really has dog in him. That he's really fighting in there when we're not doing well and taking physical stuff and just busting his ass. I mean, let me look at his stuff from yesterday. He really wasn't that good last night. You're right. He had a tough game. 2 for 9. He missed both his 3-point shots. He missed both his free throws. He had 6 rebounds, including 3 offensive, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 4 points, and a -1. Yeah, in some ways he wasn't utilized correctly last night. Or played, he didn't play well. He had an off game. I'll say that. But he did give us some things last night with the rebounding. And, he was playing some good defense last night in certain ways last night, too. So I don't know. I think that Precious has so much more merits than Malachi in certain ways. And plus, Malachi really, like I said, he has never ever had these amazing games where I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's so good. Like if he came out and dropped a 30-point game with a ton of threes, I'd have more respect for him. But he has never ever done that. He may have done that once in the Tampa season in his rookie year. And now we're in his fourth year right now. And it's like he's regressing in some ways. He's progressing in some ways. He's regressing in some ways. It's just frustrating. His linear path has been maybe like it's like this, whereas Precious is going. He's up here, and Malachi's kind of like that. I don't know. I don't lump them two together because in some ways, Precious, oh my gosh, like he is such a future. I'm going to tell you next year, he's going to come back. He's going to be a whole other player, just like Scott is this year. And he could be even that close to being like what Scott's doing this year. There are certain things that Precious has that are very similar to Scotty. And that's why in some ways you want to have Precious around. I'm telling you. Jillian saying, Anunoby, not Flynn? Laugh out loud. I'm okay. Well, listen, in some ways to get the big trade package, you're going to have to trade OG. You know, what are you going to get for Flynn if you trade him? You know, to get the pieces that we may need, in some ways you got to trade OG. And it's too bad. Let's look at OG's line last night. Really, I mean, not totally horrible, but not the best. 4 for 9, 0 for 4 at 3. He made all 4 of his free throws. I like that. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, a -11 with 12 points. The problem is that we saw recently that when OG gets 20 points, we have a better chance to win. I want him to be more aggressive and score more. He's been a dud scoring wise the last couple games, and it's shown that it's hurt us. You know, he gets 20 points, and then all of a sudden we have a higher win percentage to win. So in some ways, it's on OG to come and bring his share of the scoring to help with Pascal and Scotty as 3 leading scorers to help us. He's not doing it right now. And we know that he has this pattern of fluctuating between being a one-way player with just defense and not as much scoring. And then sometimes he can do both of them where he's two-way and he's scoring and playing good defense. And then in the worst is when he's neither. He's not playing good defense and he's not scoring at all, which was a game this week against the Denver Nuggets. And last night, I could say he was kind of in the middle, but not enough to help contribute in some ways where he should be right now with his production. In some ways, once again, Scotty, Pascal, and OG need to be more aggressive and make their points and their production happen, just like Embiid and Maxey last night. They want to learn something, learn from them. At halftime, they didn't have hardly any points. In fact, we held Maxey and Embiid to a very impressive first half total between the two of them. I think that they had around 20 points between the two of them, maybe less. And, well, they both exploded in the third and fourth. And that's really them going to be aggressive to go get theirs. And that's when Scotty and Pascal and OG need to be doing the same kind of stuff. So that's my criticism of him. I'm giving Scott a pass because he was passing a lot last night. He was doing things like blocks and rebounds. I wish Scotty had shot more and scored more points, but it just wasn't one of those games. And Siakam was carrying, but Anunoby wasn't adding anything as much in scoring himself. And that's kind of the thing I'm looking at with that. Stargate saying Scotty is obviously hurt. You can tell he's not moving the way he usually does. You know, even if he was, he wouldn't tell you, and he's going to lie. And I don't think he's that hurt. He hit his thigh. You could see that he was holding his thigh for a little bit in game this week. But I don't think he's that hurt. I really don't. Of course, the game day fits. Coming in the game, Scotty wore a suit into the game last night, just like Garrett Temple. And I was commenting to Monique. I'm like, I'm wondering if this signifies a new level of professionalism that Scotty's taking about his NBA career. You know, when Garrett Temple wears that suit coming to the game, that is showing that he is very serious and professional about being an NBA player. Well, Scott, if you're going to wear a suit yourself, you might start bringing those vibes off too. And let's back it up and make it coherent with what you're doing on the court. I'm all about it, Scott. You don't have to wear a suit every single time. And it may have been just your fit for that night. You may want to be a biker one night and a businessman the other. But that's fine. But it was very interesting to see you show up in a suit last night, Scotty. That's very interesting. Jillian saying, you want Flynn gone, Lex? Yeah, I do. I've wanted him gone for 2 or 3 years now, Jillian. This is not anything new I've said. You could go back to my first streams 2 years ago, and you probably hear me at some point say, I want Malachi off this team. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. I have very low patience with him because he's not showing the progress I'd like to see there. It really isn't. It's like great. It's all great in theory and practice. He knows it all. He's a good student. He's got that dog like mentality about winning, but it doesn't translate to his play on the court. He's not making his shots better. In some ways, he infuriates me with how unfundamental he is in certain ways. Like, where he's unfundamental, and this is the opposite of him and Marquise Noel, is his dribble. He dribbles up high above his shoulders sometimes. That's horrible. I hate people that high dribble. That's just inviting people to come and steal the ball from you. And guess what happens to Malachi? He gets the ball stolen from him as a point guard, as a ball handler, because he's erratic with his ball handling. He's not a good ball handler. He loses the ball often. He's not a good passer. You've seen how Marquise Noel sells a silver platter to the 905 players in the morning against Memphis Hustle. And then you see, is Malachi ever serving up anybody with a silver platter and an easy assist where they're just scoring something so easy? No, he's not. So he's not a point guard. And then you add in, he's supposed to make shots. Oh my gosh. Well, forget about the threes. I've already harped on them. He doesn't even make layups because he's not fundamentally good at making layups either. How the fuck do you get in the NBA when you're not fundamentally good at making layups? Seriously, all you have to do is put up the backboard and let it fall in on its own. No, he's doing some sort of spin weirdness when he's coming up and doing stuff like this. And like it's fucking spinning around and then it spins right off the rim. It's like, yeah, he's fundamentally so bad he can't make layups and he doesn't even dribble right. He's supposed to be a point guard. I mean, that's just the damn truth. You can look at Marquise and you'll see fundamentals just flowing through his blood in his veins. And that man the only way he could be anywhere as a 5'7" guy is to be absolutely perfect with his fundamentals. So that's what I'm saying. I'd much rather have a shorter guy who hasn't been around as long, who's fundamentally a good player, somebody that I may even trust that he'll hit his three better than him. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. I can give you a laundry list, Julian. Seriously. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. Despite the loss, I appreciate the early efforts. They need to play like this all 4 quarters. Yeah, I feel like they did for the most part. I mean, there were some letdowns, and it was really just bad rotations coming in of the bench. Malachi. I mean, I could really blame Malachi because he was the epicenter of the team that came out and stunk the bed, and he missed shots and had turnovers. And that very much really kind of hurts our momentum. We're playing really good, solid basketball where we're scoring very well. We're holding them off. And then he kind of just craps. And then it really turns an event. And all of a sudden, the Sixers are closer to us. They're tied with us. And now they're ahead of us. And it's halftime. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. And fuck him. He has not progressed as a backup point guard. In fact, he's not even a third back guard. He's a third guard. He needs to be a third guard career-wise. He'll never, ever be a starting point guard. And he isn't even a backup point guard. He's so bad. He's a third point guard, break in case of emergency. Absolutely. Only if you have to kind of guard. He needs to go there. Jeff Doughton should have been on this team still, and he would have been a better backup point guard right now for us. There's all kinds of things I could say about this. Monique saying 3 stars of the game, the loss, Pascal, Gary, and Yak. Yeah, she's got the same 3 stars as me. I've got Yak in the second position with Gary in the third one. But hey, that I won't agree with that. Julian's saying, Trevor, where is the Gary Trent Sr. interview, please? It's on the Raptor show with Will Liu and Blake Murphy from yesterday. He showed up in one of his fur coats, and he came in as Trent Sr. The way he is he's a wild one. Yeah, he's a wild one. I may go circle around and watch it, but I don't have a lot of time. Like I said, I got my family in town, and really the time that I'm doing everything, I'm trying to cram everything in. I still do the workload to do this channel, and I'm trying to do family time with all my family. So let's see. MSJ's here. Good to see Chris. I thought the Raps played rather well last night. They are far deeper a team is all. Yeah, they're an interesting team. They're very interesting. I don't want to give too many kudos to the Sixers, but yeah, they're an interesting team, and we are what we are. And people just need to accept it. And let's go with the flow. Let's just go with the flow. Fiercely saying, once again, this game indicated our lack of shooting threes. Otto's presence was refreshing. Yeah, I really liked Otto being out there. It looked great. He hit 1 3, and he was making smart decisions as a vet. He was involved in boxing out people from rebounds. He was involved in some good stuff defensively. And I want to see more of this. I think it's smart for Darko to play him against teams that are big-time teams like Denver and Philadelphia. So, against the lesser teams, play your younger guys, the development guys. But when we're playing big time opponents and we need solid vet know how and like not screwing up, well, he can come in and play minutes and it'll help. And also, he spaces the floor. He really does make people have to think twice about leaving him. So, yeah, there's a lot of good things about playing Otto Porter. And I loved seeing that he got in the game last night. Even if Chris didn't get in, I didn't totally agree with that. I would have taken Malachi out of the rotation and let Chris play his minutes and play big and let Scotty be the backup point guard because Scotty was running point guard at times last night. Darko noted it after the game, saying that he was happy with some of this stuff with the lineup with Scotty running the point. So listen, you may get your wishes, Scotty point guard lovers, because he may get it from time to time in the game and he may get it expanded as he continues to be successful being a point guard on our team. So we'll see. I'm not totally against it if it's working. It's just that I saw a lot of turnovers with him being the point guard in the last couple years of his career. So I was hesitant about just giving the reins to Scott and saying, hey, you're the starting point guard now. No, you don't want to do that. In some ways, you want him to be the backup point guard and still have a starting regular point guard. And he can do the chasing around of Tyrese Maxey. And then you can be the point guard when everybody's out and you play a big lineup and no more Malachi. I fully endorse that. I have more confidence in Scotty being the backup point guard than Malachi Flynn. For sure, for sure, for sure. All right, let's see what else y'all are saying. Love to see so many different names in here this morning and appreciate y'all being here this morning with me on this rainy December morning in Toronto right now. Yeah, let's see. All right, I really lost my place. And please give me a good cutoff today, Jillian. I know you've been so good at you and Monique are really good at keeping track of when I should be cut off. I like that. Let's see. Dana's saying, "Take that, fuckers." That's right. I was sitting there with Adriana on the couch, and she's so good to cheer with me. She's so supportive of this team. I love you so much, Adriana, for cheering for this team. She just said she loved me too. And listen, I was like, this game is full of fuckers. I said that at one point. I said, there's so many fuckers in this game, Adriana. And she started laughing. I was like, Courtney Kirkland's a fucker. Nick Nurse is a fucker. Joel Embiid is a fucker. I turned into David Saborin for a second there. It was funny. Chris is saying it fiercely. Yep, a team cannot shoot. Yeah, it's too bad. Let's see. Fiercey's also saying alley-oop to Trevor, and thanks for representing the fam. Yes, for sure. Trevor J, such a good leader in the Raptor Freak family. Man, I appreciate you, Trevor, so much. So much. All right, let's see. And blessings to Randolph from Jillian. I love it. Click saying, this is who the Raptors are. That's right. Accept it, baby. It's just who it is right now. We're not on top of the Atlantic Division anymore. We're at the bottom of it. And, well, we want to get back up to the top. There's some work to be done. Click, I appreciate you being here, and thank you for stating the obvious. Yeah, we are who we are, and we can get better over time. It's just going to take some time. That's all. And I'm going to be here for them. I'm not going to turn coat on them. I'm not going to go be a different fan for another team this year just because the Raptors suck. No, I'm going to stick with them right on through. Trevor's saying, I'm on vacation until January the 15th. So he's not even working. He's just going to games just for fun with his crew. That's awesome, Trevor. You're the badass, man. Wayne's here. Good to see Wayne's trainer. Chev was funny as hell, stating out that some of our roster couldn't make a college team. I know it's the process, but we're measuring outcomes, and some are just taking advantage of their opportunities. Yeah, I can get behind this. Yeah, I mean, and some of these people, I would be like, can we get them out of the league or just get them out of here? You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, Jillian's saying Maxey equals Embiid. Yikes. Fiercely saying, agree with G. Our depth is lacking, and it's becoming evident game after game. Yeah, Bobby, we're going to have to trade one of our top 3 guys and get a more fleshed out roster for our bench. It's just what you got to do, Mr. Webster. And I don't know when you're going to do it or how you're going to do it or exactly who you're going to do it with. I'm just going to trust in you guys to get something done. And hopefully this team will be improved in 2024. And Raptors fans will have more to look forward to and feel good about. In some ways, we have some that we feel good about right now, Scott Barnes. But we want more, and we want to see that the direction is changing out of being the way it is right now. So in some ways, we're waiting for your move, Mr. Webster. You're the next part of what can help us with this team. And I think everybody realizes this right now. Fans, press, Even the team does. And that's maybe why some of them are a little bit, OG and Pascal are both kind of feeling like, it could happen anytime. I get it. That can be unsettling and scary. But man, I hope you pick to keep Siakam because that synergy with Barnes and Siakam is so nice. In some ways, I really, really endorse that. I really do. Jillian saying Chev, yeah, NBA Chev. You check out his channel, Jillian. He's awesome. NBA Chev's the best. Let's see. Chris is saying it's depth at guard to be specific. Yeah, in some ways, I think you're right. There's a lot of teams that have more shorter guys, and we do really have a glut of wings. And maybe one of those wing positions should be filled by a shorter guy, but a more capable short guy than Malachi. In some ways, Malachi's the end all be all. When we had Doughton last year, okay, there were two choices. But now at this point, there's no guard off the bench in a guard size other than Malachi. Everybody else on our bench is big. Is Jalen McDaniels, is Otto Porter, is Precious. And then we just got Malachi. So there's no options or different flavors of guards. That's why you should call up Marquise and start using those two-way games with him. He give you another flavor real quick. And I'm telling you, Darko, you need him and Jonte Porter up on the regular roster ASAP. They back from Orlando today. Maybe you should see them come into the game tonight against a Utah Jazz team. This would be fun to see Marquise Noel play for the Raptors tonight. And I'd love to see Jonte get his chance too. Yeah. Let's see. Wayne's saying, oops, meant to say not taking advantage of their opportunities. Okay. Yeah, they're not. They're not. You want to be in the NBA, Malachi? Make some shots. You want to be in the NBA, Malachi? Make some assists. Some reason, I'm like your dad's paying off Messiah or something at this point. Y'all can call him Nick Nursery, but it does seem like you need to be in a nursery, motherfucker, is what I would say right now. I didn't think I'd say that at any point. I'm sorry, Eric Flynn, with all due respect, but your son deserves to be in the crib, in the nursery, because he's playing like a baby still. Geez, grow up, young man. Please, Malachi. Let's keep going. Jillian saying Raps played amazingly. Go Raps, go. I agree. I thought that, listen, it's not a moral victory. It's just checking in on progress. And in some ways, if you're just win or loss, Ricky Bobby, well, just stop. You're going to be miserable cheering for the Raptors right now because we're going to lose some. Now, we got to recalibrate. Are we going to make the win total? Is Vegas more right than we thought as far as how we're going to do this year? I don't know. I want to change that. Bobby, make the deal, and let's see if we can get still to 42 wins because I want 42 wins so bad. You got to beat Nick from last year. You seriously got to get the 42 wins this year. Come on. We're only at, 11 right now? We got a long way to go. We got to get 30 wins, 31 wins still. So y'all need to kick some ass in the new year and get one of them today. Let's get to 30, get to 12 today, and that'll help things going forward. Come on now. Let's see. G is saying, seeing that Embiid was hobbled, they should have gone at him more in the paint. In my opinion, we have a bunch of lengthy, big players. We're still too nice. This is why I keep asking for a Winslow type. Well, Winslow, he's only like 6'5". He's not very tall. He's not a big. He's an undersized big, and in some ways he might hurt us, G. I like this strategy of going at Embiid if he's hurt, or in foul trouble. Any of that kind of cerebral thinking where it's like, Maxi's got 3 fouls. Let's get him in foul trouble. Then Nick will have to take him out. That kind of stuff is smart. But Raptors are playing at beginner level right now. They can't do advanced level stuff right now to a degree. They can if they think about it and they do it. But for the most part, they're just trying to nail down the basics. So it is what it is. Jillian's saying, Wayne, you can remove your post. Just click on it. It's all good. I got it figured out from what he said. Most saying Raptors play so well, fourth ended it for us. I feel like the second quarter ended it for us. We really needed to maintain dominance over them. In the first quarter, we did. And in the second quarter, they beat us by 12 points, Monique. So the second quarter killed us. We had the ability to come back and make it closer in the second half, but we should have never let them get on top of us. That was the problem. That point when they tied us and then took the lead by 3 at halftime, that's when we got in trouble. We should have maintained the lead over them the whole entire game if possible. Then we would have won. So yeah, it's really tough to do. Stargate saying, yes, Chev's last YouTube video was right on point about both some of the players on the team as well as some of these fake fans we have. Yeah, I told him on Twitter. I saw a comment he made, and I said, just keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you, Chev. Call out those fake ass fans. Tell people how it is to be a Knicks fan for years, like you were, Chef, and understand the perspective of that fake ass Raptors fans. You have no idea what it is. You've been spoiled since 2019. And you think that it's so easy because you just came in right at the end when we won a championship, you casuals. You weren't there when the purple was our primary color. You were not there when Christopher Wesson Bosch played on our team, most of y'all. So you have no idea what the different levels of where you can be in the NBA and stuff. We just happen to be hitting one of these levels and going down. And y'all can't handle that. You really can't. You really, really can't because y'all are spoiled and you don't even understand basketball and you don't even understand how majorly awesome our championship was in 2019. You think they just grow on trees? You idiots. You think that these are so easy to get? It's just like going down the store and buying a pack of cigarettes? You dumbasses. No, you can't do that just any time you want to. These are hard to do. And in some ways, they're sometimes once in a lifetime. So seriously, get over yourselves. If you think that championship or bust is the only thing way you are, you got to get over yourself. Good job, NBA Chef. Keep on keeping on. That's right. Jillian's saying, Lex, Philly fans are fine because the team's doing well. Please don't worry about Raptor fan weirdos. Cheers. Well, this is the other thing. The Philly fans are getting big in their britches. In fact, they come at me a couple times. There's that one guy who keeps coming in here saying I should apologize to them for my preseason rankings. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, this is part of the problem, Jillian. When teams like the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Knicks start getting good, their fans get out of pocket and start talking more. When the Sixers are a shitty team and they're not dependable, they shut up. They have nothing to say. And that's the part of the difference. It's like Knicks fans are getting bigger in their britches because they're feeling good about how they're progressing and get better. The Sixers fans are feeling very dominant, so they're acting like big bullies all over the place in NBA spaces at this point. It's annoying. It's just annoying. And in some ways, we have to eat crow and shut up. Raptors fan was very outspoken in the last 10 years and able to throw their weight around in social media spaces. But right now, you can't. So don't even go in there and do that. You're going to look like a fool. And the other teams will talk you down, and they are right because where we are. And that may be part of the reason why these guys are upset. The trolls can't talk shit for Raptors Nation, and they're upset about it. And that's sad to them. So they can't throw weight around. The team's not successful enough so they can bully other teams like the Sixers Nation. Well, it's just how it is. In some ways, we're on the downside of things, and they're on the upswing. And that's just how it is for right now. But nothing's permanent. And things can change real quick. And, we'll see how things happen. That's part of the fun. You got to go through the hard times to get to good times. And when we go through these hard times, those good times will be all the sweeter. So just realize that, Raptors fans, if you're getting involved with this. Yeah. First period was phenomenal. I was like, oh my gosh. It was like some sort of just happy thing. It was like such a happy movie. I was like, yes. I couldn't believe how well they were playing. I was giddy. I was thinking about all y'all, different Raptor freaks, watching the game also. I'm like, man, David's got to be so happy right now. Monique has got to be so proud of them right now. Trevor's got to be beaming in the arena with his friends watching the game live. I was really thinking about all y'all in that first quarter and just how much we needed a quarter like that, even if we did not win the whole game. Yeah. Stargate saying you can tell Scotty was not moving like he usually does. He's hurt. It was mixed bag. I mean, in some ways, listen, we've said this before in the last year, the ups and downs of the NBA season, there's nicks and bruises and banged up. And Scotty does get banged up, but he's the kind of guy who's not going to tell anybody. They keep it quiet. They keep it secret, and he's going to keep playing. He's not one of these guys that takes little injuries and sits out. He will play absolutely if he can walk. And that's just who he is. He's not going to complain about it. Sometimes he'll have injuries and we won't even know about it. He won't say anything. You talk to him on Twitch about it. Say, Scotty, how's your ankle? And it's like, oh, my ankle's fine. There's nothing wrong with my ankle. And we saw him. He obviously twisted it the night before in the game. And he's like, no, my ankle's fine, man. There's nothing wrong with my ankle. That's what he tell you every time. So I'm going to be just like him. And I'm going to tell you, Stargate, there's nothing wrong with Scott. You can see that he's hurt. Sure, he may be. But the official word is he's not hurt. He's fine. And I'll just go with him because that's what he'd want me to tell you right now. No, he's fine. What are you talking about? Scott's fine. He's fine. He may have got hurt a little bit, a little banged up, but he's still getting up and down the court. He's still playing. Fiercely saying, I watch Raptors interviews pre and post game and don't even bother reading the comments. So out of pocket. Yeah, it really is at this point. just keep your focus on the channels like mine and Chev, if you enjoy them, and the regular Raptor stuff, like the interview itself. It's so bad in comment sections and any kind of thing. It doesn't even have to be in sports or Raptor stuff, in politics, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stupid people just espousing their opinions, and some of them aren't even people. They're just bots, just botting, bot. So I fully endorse people shutting off going into comment sections. You may want to go see what people are going to say, but it may be just like it's going to infuriate you because it's just stupid. And then you're going to want to type to them, and then you're getting in a rabbit hole of like going back and forth with somebody, and it's just not worth it. What's the point? So I don't even go there anymore. I have stopped looking at Twitter with anybody's accounts other than official accounts, and it's only really to get breaking news. Otherwise, I'm not there for opinion. I don't care what people think about what's happening to the Raptors right now. I don't give a shit. Because honestly, I could go in there and I could get 10 tweets that I hate, and I could retort to every single one of them on the stream. But what's the point? What's the point? Let's talk about what's important and what we want to talk about here at being positive fans and going forward and hoping for the best things for the team instead of putting on blast loser trolls that are negative ninnies. Bob the Rebuilders, and whoever the hell else that you guys keep calling them. So I'm with you, Jillian. I don't even go in there anymore. It's not worth it. I'm fiercey. I don't even go in there anymore. I don't. Jillian saying, Lex, Darko could be asking Scotty to be a different kind of player on different nights. Perhaps last night just didn't work out. Also, his players aren't usually so good. It'll all come together. Yeah, they really played at a high level. I'm proud of the starters. I thought they did a really good job opening the game. They played great defense. It was a tall task, and they did a fantastic job in the first quarter. They lost all three of the quarters after that. They were outscored by the Sixers for the last three quarters of the game. So the first quarter was great. Build off of that. I'm sure the video session this morning with Darko and the team is very fruitful. And a lot of good stuff that they can talk about, good and bad, from last night's game. So, yeah, it's good. G saying, yeah, I saw open space and Scotty Sell for the three. Even using the mid-range would have been effective. Maybe he's injured. It was funny after that, the one over Embiid, he looked right at Nurse. Yeah, that was awesome. That shot was amazing. He had Joel Embiid dare him. He was there with him. And Scotty was like, yeah, I'm going to take it. And he shot it over him. And Joel extends. It's kind of like the Kawhi shot, because that's right around where the Kawhi shot was, and Joel was the one flying by him, and he hit it. He hit the shot, and Nick was directly behind him. Scotty could have farted in Nick's face while he made that shot. It would have been awesome. That would have been like, it would have been, he makes it, shoots it over Joel, and stinks right into Buttface's mouth. Yeah, that would have been crazy if he'd done that. That would have been cool. I'm going to just believe that he did, that he tooted in Nick Nurse's face when he made that three over Joel Embiid at that point. That was so awesome. And then he blocked to Joel down at the other end of the court. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff that happened that game. Scotty was playing like the man. He may not have been shooting his shot correctly last night, but he was doing stat stuff, and he was active. He's defensive. He was a force in other ways. It's just his shot wasn't going down last night. That's the biggest problem with him last night. But yeah, that was a cool shot. I'm glad you reminded me of it, G. MSJ saying, no point in being mad at Flynn. Can a pug dog hunt for rabbits? As a guy who used to own pugs, that's hilarious to me. I had 2 pugs when I was married. Let's see. No. Can Flynn score in the NBA? No. He's trying to run an offense, and I commend him for that. He is actually playing smart of late. Yeah, it's just not good enough, Chris. The thing is, he's right in the middle. It's like he's right in the middle of everything. He's not a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. What is he? He's a hybrid guard? Okay, he's a useless hybrid guard. And then what is his height? It's like, his height's not helpful. There's not much value in Malachi Flynn right now. I'm serious. Y'all can think he is and has this. I'm just not buying it anymore. I've tried to believe this lie for 3 years now, and I just can't buy into it. I will make up lies in the faith of helping the Raptors as much as possible, but I cannot make the lie up that Malachi Flynn is a good NBA player. I just cannot. Other people can try and do it, prop him up and say this and that, but I can't get behind that lie. I'm sorry. I just cannot. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Game day. That's right. I'm going to the game, Cool Cat. I'm so happy. I'm so proud that I'm getting to go to the game with my family. My parents are going too. My mom's actually going to the game with us today. And it's going to be fun. My mom loves going to Blue Jays games. She's a big baseball fan. And I was trying to tell her, the Raptors game is different than the Blue Jays game. You might really enjoy it more because of the energy and the crowd and the fun. And so I'm really excited to see my mom in that environment also. I don't think she's gone to a basketball game with me in a long, long time, if ever. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure she's gone to a basketball game with me, but this may be the first one in a long time. So I'm really excited about that aspect too, of being there with my mother. And of course, being at games with my dad, I've gone to many, many games with my dad, but it's always fun to be there with him too. So it's going to be a lot of fun today. The full family's going. Adriana's going too. So we're going to be having a lot of fun. I'm bringing a whole crew down there, just like Trevor J. That's right. Jillian's saying everyone's avoiding the topic of Schroeder. No, I'm talking about Schroeder. All right. This is the thing with Schroeder. There were negatives about him last night. Sure. But in some ways, once again, Dennis has to do what he has to do because somebody's got to do something. And the whole protocol of the offensive system is take open shots when you get them. Well, if Nick's like, you guys can let Dennis shoot all day, but very much cover up everybody else out there. That's what I want. That's how it happens. Now, what I'll look at, and the thing that really matters is shot attempts. Now, let's look at who had the most shot attempts last night for the Raptors. Siakam, 16 shot attempts. Poeltl, second with 15. So if anything, Poeltl was a much higher usage than usual last night, but it was with good reason. We were getting a lot of good fruit out of it. So for 15 for him. Next most shots, Scotty and Gary tied with 11. So that's not bad. Next two shots, next people, OG and Precious with 9 shots, and then Dennis with 8 shots. So people can say Dennis is taking too many shots and stuff, but he's taking shots that he's supposed to take. And honestly, yes, he missed a couple shots that he probably shouldn't have missed. He did not have any turnovers last night. So you can say that. He took care of the ball and didn't have any turnovers. That's fantastic. Malachi got 3 turnovers in 10 minutes. Dennis had 0 turnovers in 34 minutes. And that's with Maxey running around trying to steal the ball. So, the only thing we can get down on Dennis is his shot wasn't going down, just like Scotty. Scotty was 3 for 11. Dennis was 2 for 8. That's not that far off from each other. So I'm going to give Dennis a pass. I know that people are really looking at him under a microscope and they're mad at him, but I would say this. He guarded Maxey super good for 3 quarters, and he took shots that he needed to take when he's open. In fact, he had the open shots. He's doing this thing where he does a fake like he's going to shoot it, and I'll bet that makes everybody mad. They're like, oh, he's shooting it again. Oh, wait, he didn't shoot it. He passed it over to OG instead. So listen, I'm going to give him a pass. Dennis is being over-criticized right now. And honestly, he didn't have any turnovers last night. He took open shots when he's supposed to. He played good defense. Casuals may not see all of what I just said, but I do. And that's why I say what I'm saying. Yeah. We can talk about any of them. Bring them up. I won't avoid any talking about any of them. I'll talk about all of them. Fiercely saying not hitting threes was a problem last year as well, which is one of the reasons they drafted Grady. But the team as a whole is struggling. Why them and not the other teams? Puzzling and frustrating. Well, in some ways, it is the roster build. In some ways, it is the Vision 6-9 of this roster build. In some ways, the schedule of things. In some ways, it's the people that are supposed to be our shooters are not doing it correctly. It really is Malachi and Gary's fault. That if these guys were better shooting night in, night out overall through the whole season, we'd have more consistency. The scouting report wouldn't be out there that, you can pack the paint on the Raptors and allow them to shoot threes because their guys don't make open threes. See, that's the problem. There's other three-point shooters in this league that will hit open threes. If they're left wide open, they'll kill you for it. And our guys aren't like that. Malachi can be wide open and he will brick the shit out of it. And he's wide open. So it's like we have no threats. If Otto Porter played more and he was more regularly out there, he could be more of this. Gary was more consistent. He made his shots more often. He could be more of this. But they don't have a reputation of making the shots right now. And then it snowballs and it makes it worse and worse. That's the difference between us and most of the rest of the NBA right there. And it really is. The guys who are supposed to be the shooters, they need to fucking make their shots. They've been needing to do this the whole entire year. And they have been the biggest problem for the Raptors this year. It's not Darko. It's not Jakob. It's not Dennis. It's who the three-point shooters don't make their three-point shots. And then the free throw shooters aren't making the free throws sometimes too. Yeah, you can't win in the NBA if you're not going to make your three-pointers. As advertised, three-point shooters, Trent, Flynn, Anunoby, and even Siakam, not making threes very well this year either. Scotty doing okay with that category. Doing okay with that category. But these other guys are not hitting their threes. It's a huge problem. Kweke Ghana is here. Welcome. We do a live stream on the Raptors every morning at 9:30. I'll be back tomorrow with the reaction to the Utah game today. He's saying thoughts on the Raptors being better than the Hawks and the Bulls. Who finishes higher in your opinion? This is a great question, initial question. Right now the Hawks and the Bulls are just above us in the standings, but I don't think this is how it's going to stay. There's really going to hinge on a Bobby Webster deal, Kweku. I could see this being like a monumental shift for the Raptors season this year if we can really, really make a masterful GM move with a trade. And I really do feel like it's going to be Anunoby, that we're going to make a deal with Anunoby going to the Indiana Pacers, and we're going to get like Buddy Hield and maybe Andrew Nebhard. Possibly, I'd love to get Mathurin too, but I don't know if that's in the cards. But I'd like to make a deal with the Pacers of some sort, and I would love to get Nebhard and Hield specifically, because I feel like both of them could be very helpful to the Raptors and very, very right away. Buddy Hield, a very, very good three-point champion, somebody that the Pacers are looking to move right now. And, the Pacers really need more defense. So they're very much looking at Anunoby as being a great addition. So something like that could help us. I could see us being higher than Atlanta and Chicago by the end of the year. We want to be in the playoffs, and there's still aspirations to leapfrog a bunch of Eastern teams to get into the top 6 if it's possible. Now, Cleveland has injuries right now, and they could free fall a bit without Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and different things going on with them. So they could, and I could see the Nets being a team just like Atlanta and Chicago also, kind of falling a little bit further lower than the Raptors also. But it's a great question. We'll have to see how things go. The move that the front office makes will be the biggest factor in what happens with the Raptors. If we stay like we are, well, we're going to play like we are for the rest of the year. So the move is on the front office at this point. It's up to them. So let's see. Fiercely saying at Jillian, many people want him out of the rotation, but I'm not into it. He needs to play like he did earlier in the season. Something has changed this past month. You're talking about Schroeder. Yeah. Well, a lot of people are saying they think that it's just he's tired. He spent most of the summer with FIBA and the Team Germany and all that stuff, and very much traveling all over the place with the pre-games and then the actual FIBA Cup. That may be part of it. I think also he's taking it really hard, the criticism from around social media, and that it's not fair, honestly. And, in some ways, he is in a slump, shooting slump. He was much better at the beginning of the season. He came out guns fire, and he was really good. Well, I think he's going to come back around. In some ways, he's a pro, and he knows what it takes to the ups and downs of being a pro, and he can figure out how to get back on track. He knows how to do it, and I trust him to do it. And I agree. We shouldn't take him out of the rotation at all. He should stay where he is. In fact, when they showed the same starting lineup yesterday, I was like, yes, I'm glad Darko's sticking his guns, even though popular opinion is against it. Even the media is saying it now, like Jack Armstrong. Well, you know what? Y'all don't make the decision. This is Darko's show. He's going to have to live and die with it. And in some ways, y'all think he's dying with it. Well, maybe he starts living with it sooner than you think. We'll have to see. Wayne saying Raptors have to take their shots, but most of them are bait shots. They know better, but their decisions are the problem. We have seen them make better choices and the situation changes. Patience, Raptors. It's really hard to suss out what is the best high percentage shot in some ways, because they're getting so many different looks if they pass it around so much between each other. Sometimes the muddleness is in the lane. I feel like somebody who's in the middle of the lane with a couple of people around, they need to elevate and go up and over, but then they're handing it to somebody at the side of the basket instead. That's a pass that bugs me sometimes. Often it's Scott who's in the middle lane, and he's dishing it off to Chris around a guy, and he's doing a little side shot. No, Scott, take it up yourself in the middle and go up over them, because you've shown that you can hit those little short shots in the middle of the lane. If you're all the way in there, you're the best shooter around there. And I feel more comfortable with you going up strong in the middle of the lane instead of making that unselfish, easy pass to the next guy next to it. They're going to hit him hard, and he may not be as strong as you to finish through the contact and make the shot. So that's why. And then also, if Chris or Precious is at the side of the basket and you're in the middle and you're taking that shot, they're more in position to get the offensive rebound and make it if you miss it. So there's a couple of things I'd rather them shoot they always make an extra pass sometimes. I'm like, no, don't do that. You have the shot right there. And it's recognizing where the best shot is at that time and taking it immediately. Immediately. G saying Kweku, in my opinion, a lot will depend on what happens with the trades and what the goal is. If they want to prioritize development, then losing comes with the territory. Yeah. I mean, who knows? We'll have to see. I don't with the draft pick with the Spurs and how that could go and stuff like that, depending on where we finish. Maybe there will be some manipulation with that to make sure that maybe we retain our pick. I don't know. We'll have to see how the Raptors do and what the goals of the season as they change happen. With a move, it could change our goals very quickly. If there isn't a move and something weird's going on, well, we'll have to see. I really highly doubt that our front office can be apathetic right now and not do anything. I think they're going to do something. Fiercely saying, for those who bash Jakob, kindly reminder of our record would be worse without him. We need a big. Teams were killing us in the paint. This is so true. This is so true. And that people just don't realize it. They see a lot of other stuff with him. Oh, he can't shoot from the outside. Oh, he can't even do this. He can't even do that. Why are we investing so much money in him? Well, there's a lot of things he does do really well that are necessary and good for a basketball team to have. We need a legitimate center. You can't, in some ways, with a league with Jokic and Embiid around, if you don't have a true center somewhere on your roster, yeah, it's trouble. And in some ways, Jakob is a top center in the league on certain nights. Some nights he isn't, but some nights he very much is one of the best centers in the entire NBA. And that's just the damn truth. Cool Cat saying, Lex, love to see the influence coming along with your niece and nephew. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, my nephew just started playing basketball. He was more a baseball all-star in the Atlanta city youth baseball. He's an all-star in baseball, so he's a superb athlete. And now he's starting to learn basketball. And apparently he's a point guard and he's got a three-point shot. So I'm excited to get some personal coaching with him. I'd love to teach him some little stuff and maybe, understand what he's interested in about basketball and talk to him about it and teach him more just as a young student of the game trying to learn it. He's a natural athlete and he's got a lot of good skills. So, I was telling my brother, and if he wants to know stuff about basketball from his Uncle Lex, hey, I'm there for him anytime. I love to help him get an edge in his competition playing in Atlanta in the youth leagues down there. Yeah. So he just started basketball and has a natural talent already. He hasn't been playing that long and he's been doing very well already in his basketball team. So I'd love to give him some advice and see what happens with him. Jillian saying, yes, Fiercey Raps were known past years for their lack of threes. There must be something in the locker room. It's the Noah system. I just want to destroy that machine. Oh my God, I hate that Noah system so much. Nick Nurse, why did you make us buy that Noah system? Can I throw it in the lake? Ever since that Noah system showed up, the Raptors shooting has gone downhill. It's supposed to help them shoot better. But I think that there's something about that machine that makes them think about this. And maybe they're getting too much in their head about worrying what the Noah system would tell them about their shot. I really feel like that's part of it. In some ways, Scotty's going about feel. He said that. His shot is all about feel and confidence. In some ways, maybe the Noah system's anti-feel and confidence because it's really pointing out every little flaw in your game when you shoot. I don't know. Malachi, if you're using that Noah system, stop using it. You know what, Malachi? Just do the opposite of everything you're usually doing to help yourself in an NBA career. Try something completely different at this point. You got to. Oh, my gosh. I'm pleading with you. Come on now. Kweko is saying, how would you describe the style of play of the Raptors, Bulls, and Hawks? Interested in getting into the NBA. Okay, cool, man. Well, listen, if you're a Raptors fan, this is a great channel for you to follow and join and become a part of the Raptor Freak family. We're a very strong community of positive Raptor fans that really want to cheer for the team in an intelligent, insightful way. And that's what we're kind of trying to do. The style of play of the Raptors right now is very around defense and kind of like rebounding and stuff like that, even though we're not good at it all right now. But that's the way our team has kind of been built. We're not really an offensive team so much at this point, but we may be modifying our team very soon, and we will become more of an offensive team. In some ways, our coach now is more of an offensive coach than a defensive coach, and that's part of the problem. We're wearing an old defensive suit, and it doesn't totally fit, and we need to tailor it, hem it, and do some alterations to make it fit a new offensive style coach. And in some ways, there's some switching around we got to do. We still have some supremely good defensive players, but we need to get some supremely good offensive shooters to go with those guys. So in some ways, that's what I talk about with the Bulls. It's weird. I'm not as closely intertwined with the Bulls or the Hawks and knowing what they're doing and what stuff like that. I know that the Hawks have that two guard attack, and they alternate between Young and Murray, kind of leading their team. And then they have a lot of different like length at different places, like the center. And then you got guys like Hunter and Kongwu and those guys. So they're interesting because they have some defense, but they do have defensive lapses, and they're not very good at defense also at the same time. And they also like really rely on Trae Young outscoring the other team. So in some ways, they're a weird team. I don't have a lot of faith in them. I don't like their team to a degree. I think that Trae Young is a bad player to build around in the NBA, and that he doesn't add up to winning championships. So in some ways, you're limited by your best superstar. And in some ways, that's the problem there. And then I think that the problem with Chicago is Zach LaVine. They figured this out recently, that he just doesn't fit with DeMar and them. And obviously, Lonzo Ball being out has really, really hurt them. They are not who they should be because they're missing their very expensive point guard that should have been playing with them, taking a big chunk of their salary cap, and they're handicapped because of that. So it sucks. In some ways, I wish the Bulls were better because I love DeMar DeRozan. But in some ways, he's going to probably leave there. And the mess of it all is really the injury of Lonzo Ball. Because, listen, you got such a great center in Vucevic. You know, DeMar is a fantastic player. You got some great role players in Alex Caruso and Kobe White. Zach LaVine's a selfish player, and I'm glad he's not on my team, is what I would say. Some people were really pushing for him. But there you go, Kweku. I hope that I answered some of your questions there. Julia's saying, Yak rocks. I love it. Yeah, Fiercely saying, Lex, when you have time, rewrite your dunk list in alphabetical order with the names on the list already there and put symbols for dozens and then add the rest. Just a suggestion to help you sort it out. You know what? You're actually thinking exactly the way I was thinking. I don't know how I'm going to do this exactly. I've even thought about getting a chalkboard and just daily marking it on the chalkboard, and then I'll write the whatever additions onto a spreadsheet and keep it all organized that way. Because right now, you can see what the dunk sheet looks like. Look at this. Look at this. Like, look at all those little X's I'm going to have to count next week to figure this out. And I've got people on names on the side. You can see how much this is marked up. It's crazy. So, yeah, I'm going to have to deduce this, figure out a better system. And your suggestions are great. And they're kind of similar to some of the things I was already thinking. So, yeah, I'm probably going to do what you're saying exactly. Cool Cat saying, I'm worried about OG. I saw him sitting halftime instead of warming up. Coach Darko walked over and squeezed his shoulder. I hope it's not personal. You know, I've noticed this with OG and Gary in particular. They like to sit on the bench before the game and before halftime. And it's not just now. They've been doing this for years. Like when I go to games, often I'll see OG just kind of chilling on the bench during halftime when they some of them may be warming up. So this is not new. This is something they did even when they're winning and everything was fine. So I wouldn't read into this too much because both him and Gary do this all the time. And it may be a symbol of that. And it's just been, I'm misreading it. And it was him kind of listless about trade talk around him. But I wouldn't read into this because I've noticed him doing this in years ago and not just recently. So it's not something new, just so you know. But if he did come and tap him on the shoulder, maybe he's just trying to come and give him some confidence and kind of trying to give him, I'm here for you. I'm your coach. Kevin's here. Good to see Kevin Thompson. Masai should have pulled the trigger on Maxey for Lowry. He started asking for too many draft picks, shaking my head. I didn't know that deal was out there. That was a long, long time ago. And I mean, honestly, how are we supposed to know that Maxey's going to become exactly this at this point? I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hindsight's 2020. I mean, sure, obviously we should have made that trade with everything going, but you got to realize at that time, Lowry was very much coveted by Philadelphia in certain ways. I don't know. We can't do woulda, coulda, shoulda. Things can only happen the way they did, and it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I'd love to have Maxey right now, but I mean, how is Masai to know? And I seriously, I don't know if that deal was actually that realistically going to happen. So Wayne's saying Precious has humongous upside, but his decision-making is his Achilles heel. Coaches have that challenge to coordinate his physical attributes to sound decision-making on the court. Yeah, I feel like he means well, and he's a lot smarter than we give it credit. You know, sure, there may be a couple of boneheaded turnovers here and there sometimes, but for the most part, he's a plus. Seriously, I'm looking at, is he giving more to winning and helping us win more than he's taking away and hurting us? Then I say by far, Precious is a net positive for our team in many ways. And some of it's on defense, some of it's on hustle, some of it's on strength, some of it's on Serge Ibaka. Don't mess with us because I'm a big, strong guy and I could hurt you. There's some intangibles about Precious that we don't talk enough about, and he does have some. He's somewhere on the scale of a Ibaka intimidator, and that's something I don't bring up often. Both him and Yak are very physical, big, strong guys that people respect. And in some ways, you guys got to give them a little bit of points for both those guys in that respect. That these guys are kind of doing Gasol and Ibaka things for us at this point, and that needs to be added in too. Fiercely saying, Kweku, Hawks are offense, no defense. Bulls are similar to Raps as they look good on paper, but they're now pulling away from us in the rankings. Yeah, I don't even care about that. Don't worry about it. The ups and downs of the standings are going to fluctuate. And sure, we're a little bit bobbing a little bit lower in the water than we did last year right now. But this is just how it is. And in some ways, I'm not gauging us against anyone. I don't care what the Bulls are doing. I don't care what the Hawks are doing. I don't care what the Nets are doing. All I care about is what the Raptors are doing. And we're just going to do what we're going to do. Once again, comparison is a thief of happiness. And sure, it can be like, oh no, now we're below the Bulls now. Oh no, that may not be the case by the end of the year. And let's just let things unfold. In some ways, you got to dip and to dive and then to come up. And that's kind of a little bit of what's happening right now. Let's see, Jillian saying, Cool Cat, yes, I still feel OG's going through something personal and needs to take time off for it, like Kyle did. Yeah, I don't know. OG's such an enigma. He's had misery around his life for a while, and he's just kind of a moody guy at times, I'm sure. I don't know. He's really hard to read. It could very well be that Masai's been very open and honest with him and told him it's very likely you're going to get traded. And he may be going through the emotions of knowing that this is probably coming. In some ways, they don't want to blindside him like they blindsided DeMar. And they may be very much like saying, look, it's probably either going to be you or Siakam. And we haven't totally decided, but brace yourself just in case. I don't know what they're telling these guys exactly. And it could be reflecting in how they're carrying themselves right now. Let's see. G saying they originally drafted for length and defense in Pascal, OG, and Yak. Fred was a three-point shooter, as was Norm. They traded Norm for Gary and then drafted Flynn partly for shooting, signed Porter, and now Grady. Yeah, they're trying to shore up, whatever position, whether it was center with Gillespie and Birch and all that. They have different mixed results. They try to shore up shooters with different mixed results. It's almost like these shooters right now are like having centers a couple years ago. Well, let's get a good Jakob shooter. Let's get a good three-point shooter to fill that void finally, like Pirtle does for us in the center. And that's what we need. In some ways, wish Gary was just that standard guy. I wish Malachi was. But we need Buddy Hield. I'm telling you right now, Doug McDermott. What if we make our annual San Antonio trade and we get Doug McDermott in a Raptors jersey all of a sudden? He's money. He is money from outside. And in some ways, all we do need is more Otto Porter, Doug McDermott, Grady Dick, Gary Trent Jr. all shooting and hitting their shots. And then boom, watch out. Watch out. You add Doug McDermott, you actually play Otto Porter more. You get Gary out of his slump, and Grady all of a sudden shows up as a rookie. There you go. We got a plethora of shooters all of a sudden to surround Siakam and Barnes with goodness. And there you go. There you go. Right there. Right there. It's like it can happen like that. Seriously. It's if everything clicks all of a sudden, Gary's finally playing exactly right. Otto's played more. We make a trade and we got Buddy Hield or Doug McDermott. Boom. We've got three-point shooting. There, right there. There you go. Let's see. G saying they are slowly making the shift to add shooters. Next may be through a trade. Yeah, I'm going to see that. We're going to see that. Kweku's saying at Fiercey, who is the smallest market out of the three? Out of Chicago, Atlanta, and Toronto, I would say Atlanta is the smallest market. It's very close, though. I mean, Chicago is a larger market than Toronto in some ways. But then again, Kweku, if you add in all of Canada, we beat both of them because we kind of have the whole entire nation of Canada as our market. So you got to include the whole country of Canada. So in some ways, we have the biggest market. If you're just going by city, you could say Chicago. But in some ways, Toronto is probably the biggest market out of the three, with Atlanta being third, is what I would say right there. Cool Cat saying, I'm not mad about the game. We played through our wings. It's okay that two of our wings were off scoring, but it's a better approach. Yeah, I'm not upset about last night. I could have a much different demeanor in different couple ways. Jubilance over a win, very depressed over an absolutely crushing blowout, embarrassing route. No, we're somewhere in the middle. And that's why I'm kind of in the middle here. Yeah. Kevin Thompson saying, is Nebhard a starting level point guard to you? He's not at this moment, but he's definitely a great backup point guard. And him being a hometown hero from this area, it can't hurt. And I've just heard a lot of good, promising things about him and some good stuff. I think that he'd be upgrade on Flynn right away, but he wouldn't necessarily be our starter right away. He could maybe be down the road in a couple years. But yeah, I like the kid, and I think that if we're going to talk to Indiana, he's somebody I'd like to get coming this way. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Lex Flynn had a moment to prove Nick Nurse wrong, and he failed miserably. Lost the ball, missed his shots. Coach Darko benched him. Thank goodness. Yeah, that's part of the depressing part of it too. There you go. There's Nick Nursery. Yeah, do it for your dad, Eric. No, you can't even do that. Big fail. And the part of the problem is he failed by missing open shots and causing unnecessary turnovers. And I hate that. 3 missed open threes and 3 turnovers. Well, that is like 6 turnovers, honestly, if you ask me. That is like 6 turnovers. Do you score at all, Malachi? No, you did not. You did not even score a damn point. Oh, wait, you had 2. You got 2 points. You got 1 basket. Yeah, whatever. That's horrible. You missed 3 shots, 2 threes, and you got 3 turnovers. That's garbage. I'm sorry. That's garbage. Let's keep going. G saying Flynn and Precious. Hang on. It's G. And guys, we're going to slow it down now because we're at 11, and I want to be finished by the time. So let me see. Where is G's? Flynn and Precious. What did he say? No. Okay, hang on. I want to get G's right question. Or write comment. Yeah, definitely don't write anymore, guys. Cut it off for sure right now. Flynn and Precious should not be on the floor together, in my opinion. Precious may have more potential, but his decision making right now is iffy. So putting him on with Flynn doesn't look good. Okay, if I have to choose, we're benching Flynn and just play Precious out there with Dennis or Scotty at the point. Cool Cat saying, appreciate the work that you do, Lex. I appreciate you, Cool Cat. You guys are awesome. Seriously, you guys really are the thing that keeps me going. And I am committed to do this for the rest of my life. So every single morning, Raptors fans will have a safe space to come and be Raptors fans and proud Raptors fans, no matter what level we're at, where we're at. Yeah. Fiercely saying, Kweku's saying, I'd say maybe the Hawks. Chicago has more history in terms of winning, kind of a legacy. Raptors have the whole country behind them. Definitely helps. Yeah, the smallest market's the Hawks. It's a great market, though. Atlanta has a good market, though, in a lot of ways. And it's an up-and-coming city. It's growing. Chicago and Toronto are close in size, and Chicago in some ways is not growing as fast as Toronto. Toronto is the fastest growing city in North America, I believe, with cranes and skyscrapers and people coming in. But I don't know. Maybe people are leaving too. I don't know. The whole country of Canada makes it add up more for the Raptors, I believe. G saying Bulls have one of the biggest markets still this day. They are around 3rd. Raptors are 6th, and the Hawks are 8th. Okay, well, he has the stats. There you go, right there. But what do you do if you add in Canada? What do you do? Fiercely saying Otto needs to show others how to box out. His fundamentals are fire. Yeah, I agree with this. I feel like Otto can teach a lot. J.O.'s here. All right, I think this is a Sixers fan. We haven't seen J.O. in a bit. Of course, he wants to come visit us on the day after the Sixers beat us. Let's see what he's saying. Hey, Raptors Freak. I know you don't like the Sixers, but do you think they have a real chance to go to the finals? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, J.O., all due respect, a good Sixers fan, somebody who's interacted with us with respect. I'll answer your question with respect. No hate. Listen, you guys impressed me last night. I think the thing that impressed me the most was how you directed Embiid in the 3rd and Maxey in the 4th, and you had Harris for the first half. Really, these guys taking over and doing what they do so well. Maxey is so unstoppable. I don't think there's anybody in this league that can guard him. And then you have the big man in the middle, and he's this guy that's just a natural, crazy, problem in all kinds of ways. So, yeah, you guys have a good chance. And plus, you got a good coach now. You don't have Doc anymore. You got the Nurse. And he is a very good coach. He's super ultra competitive, as you can tell. And he's very good at organizing and getting your team to do good things. You add in the fact that you have a whole group of really long-armed, kind of defensive-oriented guys like Nicholas Batum, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris, DeAnthony Melton, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you guys got a good team. And I don't want y'all to win, but I know you guys have the potential to win the championship this year. I don't want it to happen. If it ends up being you guys against the Nuggets in the finals, I'm fully on Denver's side, and I'm hoping that the defending champs can defend their championship. But we'll have to see. There's a lot of time to play. Once again, some of us are speculating that Nick Nurse is going to run some of y'all's guys to the ground with the minutes overplaying them. And, there's different things that could happen still in 2024 before we get to the finals. But yeah, you guys are definitely one of the top teams in the league and have a good shot to win a championship. But I'm going to be rooting everybody against y'all. Respect, J.O. And a good job last night. You guys won, and you should be proud. We did give you a scare, though, a little bit there. It was fun. Fiercely saying thank you to G, and G saying no problem. Sup, peeps? What's up, Tristan Phipps? Tristan's so awesome. He's all over the place. I love seeing Tristan in different commenting places and just being Tristan. You're awesome, Tristan. You're the best. Jillian saying at Fiercey and in Kweku, Bulls have double D. He is allowed to run the floor. Hopefully, we'll get more like them soon. Yeah, double D, DeMar DeRozan. She wants DeRozan to come back to Toronto. That'd be fun. Fiercey's giving me the cutoff for 10:15. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I look forward to seeing some of our G League players on this main team. They were fun yesterday. They're really, really good. Kevin O'Banner. Can we just drop JFL and two-way Kevin O'Banner? I know G really wants Justice Winslow, but I want Kevin O'Banner. I want that guy. That guy's hitting some threes, and he's a bully down low, and he plays much bigger than his height. And I want Kevin O'Banner on that two-way instead of JFL. Let's do a couple moves. Can I come work for y'all, Bobby? Come on. Let me come down there and I'll give you a little suggestions here and there. You can tell me to shut up, but you can be like, oh, Raptor Streak. Actually, that is kind of a good idea. Let's do that. I would love that. It'd be so rewarding to really help you guys from the inside. Seriously, I know you're probably listening to me maybe, and maybe I am helping you already. Let's see. Mo's saying stay voting, keep voting. That's right. Don't stop voting NBA All-Star, especially on Christmas Day. On the 25th, on Monday, all votes count 3 times. So make sure you get your vote in on Christmas for sure, y'all. Let's see. Jillian saying 10:15, drink water. Thank you, Jillian, for the drink water cue. All right, Fiercey saying, laugh out loud at Dana. Imagine you, Lex, and Kelly Meyer watching a game together. That would be swearing through the roof. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They've been more adamant in the games about not swearing at the games. Like, if you swear really, like yell cuss words, they will kick you out at this point. I know it's a little scary because, people are coming more down on word police, like 1984 kind of stuff. You can't have free speech here. Well, in some ways, it's a family environment, and they don't want you yelling F-bombs next to their 6-year-old daughter. So, I get it. I get it. And that's why I say to people when I go to the game with them, don't be dropping F-bombs, Harrison. Ansley, no cussing tonight. I'm sorry. No, my niece and nephew never cuss. They're good. But yeah, you're not supposed to cuss in the arena. And they're making it a lot more clear in the announcing. It's like if any kind of disturbance like that, they reserve the right to throw you out at this point. But yeah, it'd be funny to see Callie Mayer, and myself and Dana. Yeah, we get a good swear jar. We could probably give some good money to charity if we get a good swear jar there. Yeah. Let's see. Jillian saying, thanks for the reminder to vote often. That's right. Most give me the cutoff again. W Streamlex, keep at it always. Despite the outcomes, positive vibes only. That's right, Superfan Mo. That's the only way we can go. There's only one thing that's beating in our heart, and it's a heart for the Toronto Raptors. Monique and I are the same, and we cannot change. We can only be unabashedly who we are, and we are true Raptors fans. And that's what Monique Lawrence and I are, that's for sure. Click saying, so we're going to make a win now move just to stay mid? All right, Click. I know that you're always like this and saying mid this, mid that. And you're one of these people that thinks that, you need to get really bad so that you can like get a high draft pick to come save you. Now, I don't have any faith in young players coming up that they know how to play the game correctly at this point. So I'm not dependent on the draft to come save us. No, Scott Wayne Barnes. Once again, Click, I've said this to you for 2 years. We don't need another hero, Tina Turner. We've got Scotty Barnes on our team, and you cannot see how exponentially he's going to get better and better. Darko's going to turn him into more and more like Giannis Antetokounmpo in the years to come. This man plays two-way just like Kawhi Leonard. We do not need somebody else to come and save us. We need to tinker with this team. You can call it mid all you want, but we're going to get better players around him, and the results are going to get better and better. Watch. And Scotty is our superstar. He's the guy who will carry us to the top level of this league We just need to make sure we get the best players around him that complement him to get him there. And the process is starting now. This process with building around Scott is really kind of signified with Darko coming in at this point and us trying to do the new era of Scotty being the superstar. He's made the third year leap. He's given us in good faith the sign that he can do some of this stuff and develop further into being a top level superstar in this league on the same level of Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James. So you can tell me that we're going to be mid, but we're going to be getting better and better as Scotty does. And, get in the car with us. We're going with him, and we're going to be fine. Trust me. Yeah, just to stay mid, what an insult, Click. I'll allow you, just because you're an original and I love you, and you've been here with me for 2 years. I'll allow you. But the mid word is not anything. You're talking about Scotty Barnes being on a team. No, this team's not going to be mid in the years to come. This kid is so smart, and he's learning so quickly. You're going to see this kid be one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league very soon. Watch. Yeah, Julian saying, Click, no one wants to stay mid. Come on, you're smart. Teams don't automatically leap to the top. All right, let's see Click's retort. You have to build around Scotty. The Pascal timelines, he's too old now. We're only going to be good when he's like 33. You're saying that it's going to take that long for us to get better, like with Siakam or with Scotty. Don't say it either way. And let's not start writing timelines for the future when you don't know what Masai and Bobby could do. I mean, heck, the Kawhi Leonard trade taught us anything is possible. So just allow things to happen the way they're supposed to. Right now, we're in a certain place. And really, Click, when you talk this way, it just shows you're impatient, that you can't allow a team to go through the proper process of what they need to do in certain stages to get to a place like the Nuggets did this year. That you're going to have to be patient. There's no quick way to do this. And you can say we're just mid and all this kind of stuff. Well, we're going to grow and we're going to get more and more wins down the road. Just trust me on this. It's just in some ways the schedule is the way it naturally has to be for it to happen the right way. And it can't be rushed. It can't be like a lot of the fans want it rushed and this way and that. The easy shortcut ways, lose games on purpose to try and get a high draft pick is the most loserish strategy, and it's absolutely not an option in my mind. So, I don't know what you're alluding to. You want us to tank this year? Is that what you're trying to say, Click? You can't write that word in this chat. I banned it. I banned some words recently from this chat, and one of them was tank. You can't write tank in this chat. Try and write tank in there right now. Nobody can say the word tank on the Raptor Streak channel at this point. So if that's what your strategy is for what we should do, well, it's not even viable as an option, if you ask me. No, it's not. Yeah, I'm all for building around Scott. The timeline will be what the timeline is. And you know what? If Scotty gets a championship at 30 and it's 8 years from now, hey, it's all worth it. I don't know what year Jokic is in right now, and he got his championship. So I'm just saying, in some ways, it's not like instant. It's not every year. It's not over and over again. We want to get one championship first and then see if we can maintain our championship team to try and go for a repeat. And it may not be 5 years, 6 years from now when we get that championship. So just stay with the process and ride through it, the proper stages, the way they're supposed to happen to build to it correctly. Is what I'm going to say right now. Yeah. G saying building around a player does not mean age. Embiid and Maxey and Booker and Durant have the same age gap as Pascal and Scotty. Houston is building around Sengun by adding Fred and Brooks. This is a great point. Like if the Suns are going to win the championship this year, that age gap between Devin Booker and Kevin Durant is pretty wide. We're not building around Siakam. In some ways, we never really did. And Cool Cat's right. We didn't really give Siakam a chance to completely build around him. But in some ways, he's not the kind of player that could carry us single-handedly like Scotty could to build around Scotty. So there is a shifting of the gears, whether it's the culture and the change to Darko era, whether it's the culture and the change to centering everything absolutely that we're doing around a new Scotty superstar level. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying, we did say this year would be an indicator for Malachi. Sadly, so far, he seems to perform the same way he did under Nick. Tricky situation as he needs playing time to develop and build confidence. I'm sick of it. Why are we investing all this? We're not seeing gains. We're not seeing any kind of extra stuff on building on top of building on stuff. I'm not seeing progress. And that's what I'm saying. Why are we investing all this development time, the time on the court, and all this kind of stuff? I'm sick of this. I don't even care. Send him somewhere else. And if he kills us later, well, so what? He never was a good fit with us then. And obviously, he's a good fit on Orlando or some other jackass team. I don't know. In some ways, I'm just sick of it. I'm throwing my hands up on him. I'm just like, why? Why are we doing this? Wayne's saying we have a development model, and it's not vague. We're in the tunnel, and Darko's guiding us through. We're in good hands. Absolutely right things will change pretty quickly. I agree with this. In some ways, it's like you get a little bit of good stuff and success going, and it will snowball, and things will get better and better. It's just that we've had negative snowballing so far this year for all kinds of different reasons that are natural. The new coach, new system, new players, bad schedule, tough schedule. Again, we're 0-8 against the Atlantic Division right now, and that is not like a coincidence. We've been railroaded to lose some of those games in the 8, and that's absolutely the NBA wanting us to be at the bottom of the Atlantic Division so that the two big markets of New York and Boston and Philadelphia, the third one, have their teams paramount, and they don't see Toronto above them. In some ways, that's very calculated. They want us to be at the bottom of the Atlantic. So they've sewered us in all of our games against Brooklyn, New York, Boston, and Philly. Put us in very bad scheduling spots when we play them. And then on some of those games, they've actually brought in ref hit jobs and hit jobbed us in the game to make sure we lost. So that 0-8 record against the Atlantic Division, that's very calculated by the NBA and wanted. And they've been successful in getting what they wanted. We couldn't go against the script and change it and beat those teams instead. That's us throwing the script out the window and taking it for ourselves, which we could have done. But the NBA wanted the script to be us 0-8 against the Atlantic Division, and they're getting what they wanted because our team is not capable enough to throw the script out and write their own script like they have been in the past. That's part of the problem, too. You take that ultra competitiveness of Nick Nurse and the craziness of him, and that is part of what was driving us against the odds and beating teams we had no business beating in the last couple of years. Now, I think Darko can do the same thing. It's just that he hasn't gotten it totally off the ground and getting towards that kind of like mentality as a coach. Right now, he's just trying to take care of the basics once again. Yeah. Let's see. I like what you're saying, Wayne. I really do. I'm completely agreeing with you. Jillian's saying, Click, I feel you're making some assumptions. Pascal's not old. We have no idea how long it'll take to get things rolling. The Raps are working on it. Yeah, there's no guarantees on anything. And in some ways, I get why Click says this because he's buying the whole line that historically a mid team won't win anything. They'll just stay mid. Well, that's bullshit. That's the way the old NBA was, Click. That was maybe how it was in 2010, that if you're mid, you're doomed. You can't do nothing. But that's not true anymore. There's a league of parity. Once again, it's wide open. And like really the top 15, top 20 teams could have a shot at getting better and coming up and getting a championship at any time. Nobody knew the Nuggets were going to win last year. It came out of the blue. And it was very wide open who could have came through the playoffs and ultimately gotten the Larry O'Brien last year. So it's the same thing now. The Raptors get better a bit and they play more capable basketball and they play more solid and consistent. They can be a top 15 team, and any top 15 team has a chance to win the championship. So the myth of being mid is just in purgatory. You're not good enough to be at top, and you're not bad enough to get a high draft pick. That's bullshit. That's old school thinking. That's thinking for like 10, 15 years ago, Click. Everything's changed. Parity has changed. And now you can be in the middle of the pack and you can get a championship. The Nuggets were kind of like a middle pack kind of team in some ways. They weren't a darling. They weren't necessarily a favorite this whole last year. Now they are because they're now a champion. But before that, really, seriously, did you think the Nuggets were going to win the championship last year? That's what I'm saying right there. Right there. That's what I'm saying. G saying it's a misconception that to build around a player, especially a 22-year-old, means all the players have to be 25 and under. That would make them the Pistons. Building around means fit and chemistry. Exactly. That's stupid. What is there an age thing? Like, oh, you can't have Siakam on the same team with Barnes because they're not the same age? That's stupid. What kind of thinking is that? You want a diversity in ages on your team. It's much better to have a bit of a vet contingency with some really good uprising young talent. I mean, you look at the Nuggets team, look at their different ages of their different players in different places, and it all fits and does certain things. Yeah, I don't get this argument. I mean, people have made it before, and I've been like, this is stupid. Like, this is dumb. Like, there's no rules about age cohorts in the NBA, and everybody has to be on this same. Whatever. Siakam's been on his own career path. He's got a championship. He's accomplished so much already. And even if he gets one more championship near the end of his career, and he's barely the same player as he is right now, that is still awesome and fantastic and useful. So it's like I don't get it. And I'm with everybody else saying like come on, man. This age thing doesn't matter. And some people think it that way because they're young. They think, oh, we just want young people on our team. That's why I hate Thad Young. I hate Otto Porter. Those old heads shouldn't be on our team. They're old and they're garbage. Get them off our team. What are you, fucking 7? You dumbass little kid? You fucking dumbass. See, that's how young people think that it's a youth movement. It's just have all the youth people on the youth team. Well, those fucking teams don't know how to win because they're all young and they don't know how to win. And that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. And G's right. Trevor's saying, I will be back in Toronto the first week of January for a week just to get things organized. And then I leave to go back to live in the U.S. Wow, Trevor. Well, if you can link up with me just for fun, if you're not too busy, that'd be awesome just to say hi just for a second. Because honestly, you've done so much for the channel recently. I love you, man. And I just want to say hi to you and meet you in person. I feel like I owe it to you. You've been just so kind to me and such a big part of this channel that if we can get a chance to meet up just in that week at some point, somehow, some way, Trevor, let's do it. If you can, I totally understand also. It's just at your discretion if you're able to do it. I can probably make my schedule work. But you know what? We'll have to see. Clicksand at Jillian Moody, we've been watching a different team for the last 3 years, but all with the same problems. How do we fix those fast without trading people? Yeah. No, we're going to trade people. I agree with you on that, Click. We're going to make a trade, and we need to. You're right. We've been spinning our wheels on certain things that aren't working right, and three-point shooting is one of them. Three-point shooting is one of them, and then somehow our roster doesn't exactly fit together. That's for sure. I agree with all that. Space Cadet saying it's sad how fast the fans turned on Dennis. Yeah, I think it should be mandatory. If you're a Raptors fan, go watch Dennis's YouTube channel. It will really help in the PR a lot. I feel like these people are not watching his YouTube channel. They'd fall in love with him. There's a reason why Lakers Nation loves him so much. And we look so stupid turning on him like this. You know, Lakers fans are treating him better right now than our fans do. And it's embarrassing. So get it together, Raptors Nation. Celebrate the FIBA MVP of the world. Seriously, correctly. In fact, I wish our fans were chanting MVP when he shoots free throws. I'm going to tell you that today, if I'm at the game today and I see Dennis Schroeder step up the free throw line, I'm chanting MVP at him today because he is an MVP right now. MVP of FIBA World Cup and a champion of the world. That's what I'm saying. Respect that, Raptors fans, you ungrateful little shits that don't. Yeah, respect that, you idiots. Let's see. Click saying patience is to have patience, but patience with no results, it's like waiting to get on a train that will never come. Well, go be a Wizards fan and learn about that real quick. How about that, Click? Yeah, go be a Wizards fan. Learn about patience real quick. Seriously, there's levels to this. In some ways, Click, you're talking from the spoil point of view that you expect things, that you just get them. No, there's nothing just granted in this world. We get what we get. And if the Raptors can be better and get better, well, thank God. I'd love that too. But nothing is just given or granted. It's not like there's going to be a storybook tale writing that just for sure the Raptors are going to get it out of the mud and happen. No, we have to be realistic. And we have to work towards this positively. And some of it may be baby steps. Some of it may be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But you need to allow them to do it themselves. And if you want to be unconditionally supportive towards it like I have chosen to, that's your right. If you don't, you want to be on their ass and be like this and be impatient, well, that's your own struggle and your own things to deal with yourself. Meanwhile, I'm going to go with them smooth and be like, yeah, let's do this. And I'll be happy. I'll try and get them as far as they can. I want them to get as far as they can. But if they don't, well, that's just how it is. Once again, you talk about patience, go talk to a Washington Wizards fan. Seriously, go talk to a Washington Wizards fan about patience. You'll find out real quick. Yeah. Let's see. David's saying, y'all have never been anywhere, seen anything, or done anything. It's not as easy as it should be. Exactly. David, just there, doubling down on what I just said. Exactly. Yeah, we do need to fix the 3-point shooting click. We do. Jillian saying that Trevor, hope you visit often and we all meet up someday. And I see you do your hair. Yeah, I think he displays and showcases hair products and new stuff and how to stuff for beauty salons. So he's kind of like a traveling marketing show that goes and it's at seminars and expos, and he's on stage kind of showing the products to people that may want to buy the products in their salons. I believe that's what his occupation is. And Trevor's awesome. So he's a showman. He gets up on stage and he talks to a lot of people all at once. David's saying the last 2 weeks, laugh out loud. The last 2 weeks. I know, David. I know. I love you, bro. Kevin's saying Pascal is not the problem. He's in his prime. He's still a useful player. He'd be a useful player 5-6 years from now, no matter what. I want them to invest in him. He works hard. You give him the bag, he still works hard. You tell him he's not the focal point anymore, well, he's still busting his ass and trying to learn a new system on a new coach, and it's hard for him. Siakam is not the problem in the least, and he needs to be valued and kept in the Raptors, if anything, so that we can say Toronto Raptors champion Pascal Siakam more often. Because once he leaves the team like Fred does, that's not a good thing. Trust me, it's not a good thing. I want to keep Siakam. I very much made this clear. Invest in him, Bobby. The 30th is coming up soon. Make that move at least to keep him, even if it makes certain people in Raptors fan nation's heads explode. That's fine with me. Those are the people whose heads probably do need to explode if they're upset that we're retaining Siakam. So, yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah. Click saying Pascal's a great player, but his time is running out here. You can see it. Well, that's because the press says that. That's because some people see that. But that may not be true, honestly. I still think it's 50-50. I think that one of those two guys will get moved, and only one of them. And the other one will stay. And if I'm picking myself, OG's got to go. OG's got to go. Siakam's got to stay. The stuff with Pascal and Scotty is just so good. It's like, look, they're instant chemistry, and they're working so well off each other. There's no reason to not keep Siakam, honestly. There's so much more about him that's very, very useful and fruitful. In some ways, OG's time with us is going to probably be done soon. All right, let's see. I'm going to be closing up soon, guys. I appreciate it. G saying they will make trades based on the best packages. Could be Pascal, but could be OG traded, even a combo of bench pieces. Yeah, we'll have to see. Go, Bobby. Do your job. Wayne saying patience with action. Click. We know who are undependable. The proof is in the pudding, and we don't like the taste. That's right. Wayne's not liking the taste of the pudding. And for that weird analogy, we're going to give Wayne a dunk. Wayne is getting a dunk for a pudding joke. Pudding. He put the pudding in it. All right, let's see. David's saying his time is running out here. Why? Why do you people see what you see? They just see like the media reports, the ESPN rumors, the way that people are talking. They're saying this and saying that. Well, ultimately, it's still Bobby and Masai's decision, and I'm with David. Click saying I'll keep my mouth shut and come back at the trade deadline. There you go, Click, and I hope you do circle back. You are welcome here. We love you. I don't want you to feel like you're an odd person out here, an adversary. You're not. I like your opinion, your point of view. It's necessary, and we need a well-rounded group of fans here that have differences in opinion. And I think the Click may be right. We'll have to see. It could be Siakam. He could be right too. We'll have to see. If it's me, I would pick OG to send away. But I very value Siakam a lot. I very much. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex and the Freaks. Bam. Good to see you, Cowboy. Good to see you. Kareem saying, Lex, we need a Christmas remix. It's that time of the year. Listen, on Christmas Day, I have a banger coming out. Kareem Thomas. Oh, my gosh. I'm so proud of my Christmas parody song today for this year. Now, I want to say something ahead of it real quick. Now, I'm not a very religious person, and I have chosen to parody a song that has religious lyrics in it normally. Now, my disclaimer is that this is not making fun of this song, with the song I'm going to do on Christmas. This is a brand new song done to the tune and the beats of that particular song that may or may not be somewhat religious. Now, I'm not making this song in light of making fun of the religion or anything like that. I just made a parody song that's not really a parody of that subject. It's me taking the tune of the song and making it a Raptors song. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or offend anyone by, changing some of the lyrics from religious lyrics to lyrics about a Raptor. So I say that in all good faith ahead of time, because in some ways I'm a little worried about offending someone by changing a song that has religious lyrics in the Christmas Carol to not being a religious song at all. Okay? Because this song is about the Raptors. And in some ways, I don't want anybody pissed off about that. Okay? Just ahead of time. But the song is fire. You guys are going to love it. It's so good. It's so good. Let's keep going. David's laughing. Trevor's saying every team in Fan Nation went through this. We were on top for years, so now it's our time to go through it. Exactly, exactly. This is a natural ebb and flow of being a fan of an NBA franchise. The Celtics fans have had their ups and downs. The Knicks fans have had their ups and downs. The Sixers fans have had their ups and downs. The Nets fans have had their ups and downs. The Raptors fans have had their ups and not very many downs lately. It's just a natural time where we're going to take a little dip, and hopefully it won't be for too long. And we can get back on the up. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. Y'all been spoiled. You know, when Masai showed up, we started winning and very consistently winning. And y'all are spoiled because of Masai. And y'all need to realize that. You really very much do. Let's see. David's saying, I've come to the conclusion that most people just have a room temperature IQ. That's it. That's all. Yeah. I have to keep reminding myself that too. Average IQs in the world are, you know, a certain place. So that means there's people below that average IQ and people above it. And I think David's exactly right. This is a good thing to remember. Jillian's saying at Space Cadet, I'm not turning on Dennis. Perhaps he did lots during the first period, and we mainly saw the results via the other players. For some reason, I still feel that last night that I barely noticed him. He's playing lesser role because he doesn't want blame. He doesn't want people to say he's trying too much. He's taking too many shots. He's trying to take over too much instead of Scotty. In fact, he'll, like I said, he'll fake the shot and he'll throw it to somebody else before he shoots it. I don't like how hesitant Dennis is. We need Dennis to have the green light to go and try and get stuff because he could actually score a lot and help us. But at this point, people are going to say he's being selfish and taken away from Siakam and Barnes if he tries to do too much. And I hate that. I hate that. Jillian, we don't think you're turning on Dennis. We don't think you're turning on Dennis. Wayne's saying Pascal ain't going anywhere. Get used to it. No one works as hard and has improved within our system. That's true. I believe that. Cowboys laughing. Kevin saying without Pascal, we will be even worse. He's exactly right. Kevin Thompson. Jillian saying at Kareem, Lex has a Christmas carol for us Monday. Yeah, it's going to be good. You know, OG Let's Go Man was great. OG Let's Go Man. It was so good. It was so good. Jillian's got my 10:30. It's actually 11:30 now almost. So I'm on the home stretch. Cowboy saying, I have a feeling we will be much better in the new year. I agree, and I hope for that too. That's a New Year's wish for me. David's saying, we're good. We're getting better. The guys are getting it. I don't know what the problem is, to be honest. Laugh out loud. Maniacs. David is so awesome. David is just such a journey as a Raptor freak. In some ways, he was very negative in the beginning, and now he's like the upbeat, positive one. And I love it. I love that journey, David. You are my man. You are my guy, bro. I love you, man. Trevor's saying there's a game on today at 12:30, Bucks and Knicks on TSN. Wow. So they're playing till 30. Well, they want to get that Christmas time going this weekend. That's good. That's a good matchup. And Cowboys saying yes, yes, and yes, and yes. All right. And Wayne saying Dennis's problem is Malachi Flynn. He does not have a competent second, so he's compensating. Plus, he needs a little break, but can't because Malachi sucks as a backup. Wow. He found another way to blame Malachi, and I agree with it. And I didn't even actually think about this. Dennis is overplayed right now because Malachi can't take up enough competent minutes. Wow. Wow. There you go. Well, maybe Darko, from what he said last night, he'll just cut Malachi's minutes out and give those backup minutes to Scott. Give Scotty those backup point guard minutes. Don't put Malachi out there with him because he's going to gravitate to wanting to be the point guard with Scotty out there. Take him out, put Gary, Precious, Chris, and Pascal out there with Scotty and let Scotty run the point. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Jillian's saying, Lex, players are adapting to Darko. They will improve. I agree with this. And they're still really bought in. You can see the effort they put in last night. If they really weren't listening to Darko anymore, if they really didn't care about playing for the Raptors anymore, you would see it. And they wouldn't come correct against a very tough team like the Philadelphia 76ers last night. Let's see. Great points by Wayne. I agree. Wayne's been on fire lately. Honestly, he's a hard-nosed fan, and I'm getting more and more in line with his line of thinking. I really am. Bring on the Jazz. That's right. Jillian saying, Lex, Masai doesn't like making decisions via the trade deadline. We need more defense, man. Well, in some ways, there's deadlines he's going to have to respect. I know he doesn't like dealing with the deadlines, but man, you're going to have a lot of haters and people turn on you if you flub this. In some ways, last year, they look at what happened with Fred as a failure, which in some ways they couldn't avoid. But this time, in some ways, you need to handle this way better with these upcoming free agents for next summer, Gary, OG, and Pascal. So nail these down in the way you need to during the season. And if you get to the end of the season, none of this is figured out. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have such a hard time defending you guys because those Raptors fans are going to be crazy. And in some ways, I won't be able to speak any reason to them because I'm not even going to understand what the fuck y'all are doing if y'all don't do something. So they better do something. They better do something because in some ways, I'm running out of ways that I can defend them. And if they don't do something. Let's see. Cowboys saying, hope Darko tries some new lineups just to see Noel. Yeah, I'd like to see Noel out there. Scotty helps the Raptors, period. I agree with that. And something will happen this year, Jillian. Thank you, Cowboy, for your comments. And how's Alberta out there? Did you get to see Seymour yet? That'd be awesome. Jillian saying, I'm also confused why Malachi would somehow be a backup for Schroeder. I mean, he's still, developing. Well, he's supposed to be our second point guard. That's what we're playing him at. And he's just not playing that well. Cowboys saying also good morning. Stargate saying, in my opinion, OG is the odd one out at this point. I agree with Lex. On Indy, the best trading partner at this point for Nebhard, Hield, and Mathurin. Great deal for both teams. In my opinion, it's time to bring up the two ways. I know it's 2 hours. I'm going to be done soon. I know. I'm very close. I'm trying to sprint through. I have a hard line that I'll be done at noon for sure, okay? It's 11:30 right now. I love you. You're awesome. All right, let's see. Yeah, Cowboy wants to try out the two ways. I'm all about that too. Wayne saying Dennis will be totally rejuvenated after break. This is a high IQ player, and one's physicality sometimes doesn't keep up with the brain. Get Dennis a competent backup. I'm with that. How tall is Harrison? I'm not sure how tall he is at this point. I'll find out today. I haven't seen him in a year and a half. He could have grown in a growth spurt since I saw him last. I'm pretty sure he's not up to 6 foot yet. But we'll see. I don't know how tall he is. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. Cool Cat saying, let's go, Coach Lex. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm going to teach him some insider tricks. Cowboy saying, we'll be in the playoffs. I hope so. Go Cowboy. Let's go Raptors. And Fiercely saying, Lex, can your nephew help out the team with his 3-point skills? Maybe we can get him in like a 3-point half-court shot at halftime or something for like a car or something. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool to see him out there doing that. That'd be very fun. You guys are funny. Cowboys laughing at Fiercey. Have a good time in the game. You have a good time out in Alberta, Bradley. I hope you're having a fantastic time seeing your daughters and the rest of your family out there. And hopefully you did get to rendezvous with Seymour Pape. That'd be awesome. Jillian saying 10:45, drink water. Well, I don't have no time. I got to just go on through here. Tristan's laughing. Cowboys got the mug with the Mug Brothers in the tree. Nameless saying, how do you even read that dunk sheet? It's like trying to decipher ancient hieroglyphics. I agree. Nameless, my paisano. I'm so glad to see you back, my man. I've missed you, man. Yeah, I don't know how I read it. It is like hieroglyphics, and I am going to decipher it after the family leaves after Christmas. I'll have that little window of period between New Year's Eve and Christmas break with the family. Then I'll do a whole bunch of busy work, like counting this all up and getting this organized better. Yeah, for sure. Jillian saying, Maxie, the angels were singing when he was born. He's just such a nice kid. I can't hate him. I can't hate this kid, Maxie. In some ways, he's killing me with a smile, and I'm like, damn, he's good. I love this guy, even though he's absolutely destroying us. It's just how it is. That's how you know he's a badass. He can do it to you, and you don't hate him. He's so good. Cowboy saying, Nameless in the house. Alley-oop. Yeah, we missed you, Nameless. We've been wondering about where you've been, my man. We missed you. We thought the cannabis was out of the system. He's like, oh, he got it all in his right mind. And now he sees just how silly the Raptor Street channel is. I missed you, my paisano, teaching me the Italiano. Yes. Let's see. He's been super busy in the AMs with school. Might even get worse in January. Oh, no. Nameless. Well, when we catch you, we can. What's up, my beautiful people? We love you, man. You can always come home to us. We got your back, Nameless. We love you, bro. And look at how much everybody's happy to see you. Let's fucking go. That's right. Bam, bam. Good luck, Nameless, with your schooling and everything. You just catch us when you can. I know how it is. Let's see. Cowboy saying, let's go. Hang on. It jumped ahead. I want to make sure I don't miss any of these. Kareem saying, I want that dunk sheet signed. Listen, I'll sign this dunk sheet and give it to you. very soon because you're about to win, and I got to figure out a good prize for you for winning the dunks this year. Jillian saying 11 o'clock. Lex, allow us to buy you a huge dunk book, please. I need a chalkboard, and I might even put it on the wall behind me, and I'll mark it the way we do it, strikes and dunks, and maybe we'll have extra stats we start keeping too if I can figure it out. Let's see, alley-oop signature 100. Thank you. Nameless is laughing at Kareem. We will. I will sign it. I mean, my handwriting's all over it, but you should sign it too, Kareem, since you're the champ. 300 pages. It's only one page. That's part of the problem. Nameless said, I think Lex needs an Excel sheet. Yeah, I probably will upgrade to that. Thank you for the cutoff, Monique. Cowboy saying it's going to be as big as a Lord of a Ring novel. Alley-oop to Cowboy from me for that one. That's funny. All right, let's see. Jillian has got Monique on blast with Cowboy. And Jillian saying an Excel sheet open on an additional monitor. Yes, maybe. Cowboy saying later, let's go Raptors. I'm all about that. And he's saying have a great and safe day, Raptor Freaks. Yes, I love that. Jillian saying bye, Cowboy. See you soon. Mugarbe saying good morning, Raptor Freaks. What happened to OG? I don't know, Mugarbe. We can go deep on that. You saying nice breakdown, Raptor Freak? Appreciate it, J.O. Yo, listen, man, hold your head with pride. You're getting your good time now. Sixers Nation has gone through the process, and now it seems like you're in the right place with Mr. Nurse running y'all. So, yeah, you enjoy this, man. In some ways, listen, I'm a hater of Nick Nurse and y'all's team in general, but in some ways, I have to respect what you guys got going right now and not totally hate on it. So, yeah, I appreciate you respecting my breakdown. And listen, y'all are getting your time in the sun, so enjoy it, bask in it. How about that? Dana's saying, I'm out. Have a good day. All let's fucking go. That's right, Dana. I'm about it. And hello, Mr. Dana. Hello, Mr. Mug. And Cowboys got the Mug brothers in effect later, Dana and Jillian. Kawhi was a rental. That's right. And Scotty is our draft pick, and he's a part of our franchise. Mugabe saying Scotty can't single-handedly carry us to championship. No superstar did. Even the GOAT, MJ. And Pascal never got a chance. We never gave him a tool to win. Well, I could see this. Siakam can be that guy that he was for Kawhi, for Scotty. And, then we'll fill in the rest of it around it. How about that? Jillian saying 11:15, time to finish Christmas shopping. That's right. Get going. And there's our guys, our big three, Pascal, OG, and Scotty. And Jillian saying, all I see is win, or not, or what. That's right. Nameless, we missed you. I was in a hair show with Trevor at Trevor with blue hair. Cheers. Well, she can be a model for you on stage. If you come through the Ottawa area, look up Jillian. She'll come and be a volunteer to be on stage, and you can do her hair in the middle of the show. That'd be cool. They're working on Siakam's contract. We know this. That's right. That's what I'm hoping. That's true. I'm hoping that's true. All right, let me wrap it up. We're right at just under 2.5 hours when we get this done in time. All right, y'all. Once again, here's our injuries for today. The Utah Jazz will not have Keontae George, the rookie today. His foot is ruled out for today. THT is questionable today for his foot also. And Jordan Clarkson, it's a hamstring. He may not be playing. Koloko's our only injury listing, so the Raptors are pretty much healthy. Tough loss to the Sixers last night, but respectable effort and good stuff. My 3 stars of the game were Pascal Siakam, Jakob Poeltl, and Gary Trent Jr. The 3 referees for today's game against the Jazz are actually very favorable for the Raptors. Tyler Ford is our crew chief. He's absolutely one of the best refs for us. Honestly, he really is. Aaron Smith is the second ref. He actually favors the Jazz. And then Shea Flores is the third ref. They actually favor the Raptors. So good refs for us today. I like it a lot. I'm not going to do the Instagram stories. Not a whole lot there. If you have a Yahoo fantasy team in our fantasy league, continue to put your lineup in and get it right. Great win by the 905 yesterday in the morning. It was a lot of fun to do the watch along with you guys yesterday morning. All right, y'all. I'm going to bring it to the arena right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scotiabank Arena for tonight's matchup, the Utah Jazz visiting the Toronto Raptors. Tonight, we've got a matchup of bigs for Team Austria and the Toronto Raptors. We've got Jakob Poeltl, and for Team Canada on the Utah Jazz side, Captain Canada himself, Kelly Olynyk, who's going to win the marquee matchup tonight. I don't know what to find out tonight at the Scotiabank Arena. I promise I'm going to bring the noise with my family right way, and y'all Raptor your day right like Nat Bhatia would, like Monique Lawrence would, like Trevor J would. Do it the way Raptor way. Do it with excellence. Do it with pride and kick some butt. And hopefully the Raptors will do the same on the court to the Utah Jazz tonight. I'll be back 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning to react to the game. Please join me if you can on Christmas Eve. And yeah, I appreciate every one of y'all. So much love. You guys are so awesome and so great to see Nameless return. Thank you, Click, for the contrarian views. In some ways, it's very healthy for our channel. We need it. And honestly, you guys are all awesome. Good to see you, Neil. Also, Blackhawks stepping in at the end. W Stream, enjoy the game tonight. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go, Raptors. Let's do this right. I'm going down to the arena with my family, but sadly, you're not allowed no marsupials or mammals in the building. I'm sorry. Sorry, Justin. You can't go. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Let's go. Raptors!